everyone.
Hi,
Welcome to Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with,
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to the show. You know, I'm wondering here, I don't see too many people, Mr. O, who were here on that fateful Thursday night when the cats took down our set.
There's somebody. Or somebody who knows.
Okay. Oh, Merwin's here. Hey, Merwin. How are you?
Well, in our last episode, there was this jarring moment about 15 or 20 minutes in, just before we started the readings, when a cat somehow ended up dive-bombing the set here, knocked over the lighting, knocked over a camera, dragged the computer away, and also as a result, a particular thing.
Well, let me just add before that everything related to the set survived intact, and we were able to get on with the show, but unfortunately, something else went kaplooey. On another table, they knocked over a set of chimes of mine and broke a hook, the thing that hooks it up. It's an electronic chimes that is activated by wind that comes up underneath and blows the chimes around. It's really one of a kind. I can't find another like it anywhere. Well,
But just listen.
go on. Yeah, do you hear?
I fixed it.
He fixed it. We were able to get some Gorilla Glue and glue it back together. So we have chimes again. And honest, I won't keep them on the whole show. I'll be shutting them off.
Hi, Kellyo.
But they're very
Hi,
nice,
Merwin.
and I'm really glad the cats did not destroy them permanently. So good news there. I'm going to shut them off right now.
Okay, Sonali, Dr. Victor is first, but you'll be second.
Yeah, Sonali, you are second. And let me just update the list a little bit. I see, okay, I got Merwin. I'll get KC down. And first thing we do is start with a card for the collective that I just highlight one of my many oracle decks. And I'm going back to Denise Lynn's Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. You know, last week, one of our cards of the day that we posted on Facebook and Twitter was we had the Eight of Cups. And, you know, the Eight of Cups is taking a journey of sorts. So I thought, hey, let's bring out the old Sacred Traveler cards and see where we are on our journey.
Anthony, we have added you, and we've added you in the order that you came in, so you're good.
Hey, January, I'll get you on the
Hi,
list
January
too.
girl.
I'm going to get you on right now so I don't mess
So,
anything up.
you'll do the card first and then the order?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Hang in there. We'll go over the list in just a minute, guys. I know everybody's eager. I am too. All right. And thanks for joining us, Anthony, and saying those nice words.
Yes, that was very nice. Thank you. Does it matter?
Not with this one. Desert Passage. Uh-oh. Sounds like a dry spell. We'll see what it says. Trust that there's a divine plan. So let's see what she says about the Desert Passage. It is hot today here in Michigan and for the next week. So trust there is a divine plan. Even if it seems that life has areas of barrenness, beneath the surface, life is transforming in accordance with your highest good. Trust that you are guided, even if it doesn't always seem like it. There are spiritual guides, allies, and angels surrounding you. Listen with your heart. Act on your instincts. Believe that the messages you are being given are in your highest good. Get down to the basics and trust what you feel. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know the desert path can seem like a vast wasteland, yet it is in the isolation, funny, since a lot of us are still quarantining in a way, that immense insights and intuition can emerge. In times of old, sages and visionaries retreated into the desert to connect more deeply with spirit. If in the past you trusted your instincts, then later it seemed to be a mistake, don't let that keep you from trusting your intuition now. Often those things that we thought were mistakes in the past, in hindsight, were the best things possible for us. As you open to your intuition, you will sense messages from and the loving presence of your spirit guides and ancestors. There is a potent plan for your life. Trust. And every so often we have to go through those barren times.
Hi, Angel Rivera.
Hey, Angel Rivera, welcome, welcome.
Good to see you again.
Letting you know, Angel, because you might have missed it, our chimes, we started the show with them. They're fixed. I'm a happy camper that the cats did not destroy them permanently. We had to glue something together with good old Gorilla Glue, and we're good to go. So let me go over the list, and then we'll go over the decks we're using.
Alrighty.
I'll add Angel. Is there anybody else? No.
No, I think that's it.
Since I've been reading. Okay. So right now we have Dr. V. Dr. V is going to be first, and then Sonali, and then Cheryl, and then Anthony. And who's with us today? Is that Sanjib? I think we have Sanjib here, and then Gaurav, Merwin, KC, January Girl, and Angel. Did I miss anyone?
I don't think you did. I'm going to take a quick look for you.
Yeah, no, I think.
You got Merwin, right?
Yeah, I did.
Gaurav.
Yep.
I think you have everybody.
I have everybody. Sanjib, yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I thought so. Good to see you again, Sanjib. And so we'll be starting with Dr. V, but we're going to go over our decks real quick. I've changed a couple up. I'm back to using the Everyday Witches Tarot by Deborah Blake, the book is by, and the beautiful artwork is by Elizabeth Alba, who's coming out with a coloring book for this pretty soon. I backed it on Kickstarter, and she's also doing the artwork for an owl deck, and I'm really excited about that.
And I have the Sacred Path, or Ancestral Path Tarot, and that's the Ace of Sacred Circles from that.
And here is the Death and Rebirth card, number 13 of the, the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Beautiful deck that I really like. I kept that one in.
And I have the Nefertari's Golden Tarot. I don't think it's called golden, but I like to call it that because it's golden. And that's the Seven of Chalices or Cups from that deck. Beautiful card.
And just to get on Mr. O's nerves, I'm using one of my ginormous decks again. I am using the Next World Tarot. And interestingly enough, look at the card. I get to pick Angel. It looks like a library there. The Three of Wands.
A sad librarian, too. I don't know.
Well, it is a little bit of a dystopian deck, I believe. Let's show the box.
Oh, Angel has used Light Seers.
Oh, okay.
Or says he has to.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I love it, Angel. I really do. This deck is written and illustrated by Christy C. Rode. And you got any other to show off?
Yes, my last deck is the Tarot of the Northern Shadows. And that's the moon from that one. And I see we have Fabio.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
Welcome, Fabio. We'll get you on the list if you want. I'll go over the list in just a moment one more time.
And yeah, it is good to see you too, Sanjib. Thank you.
And let's see. Finally, I have, of course, this time I brought back my Ciro Marchetti Lenormand. So we'll just be using this Lenormand today. It's the expanded version with the extra cards. So,
do you know what number Gaurav is? It looks like he's about the sixth one down, sixth or seventh.
Oh, is that Sanjib? Sanjib, is that the Caitlin Matthews deck, the Enchanted Lenormand? I think it is. Pardon me?
I asked you a question.
Go ahead, what?
Do you know where Gaurav is? Because he just asked.
He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the list.
6.
And I was just going to go over the list again, like I said. So, Dr. V, you are first. And then Sonali, Cheryl, Anthony, Sanjib, Gaurav, Merwin, KC, January Girl, Angel Rivera, and Fabio. We should be getting going right about now. So, hey, Dr. V, if you have your question, let's go for it. Good to see you, Dr. V. I hope things have been going well for you.
Fabio, save your question for later because you're actually the last one in the room, so you're going to be down the list. You're probably about 10 to 12 down our list. So just hold on to your question.
Yeah, and we might have to ask you again later, so hang in there.
And Dr. Victor, there you are. These are both work-related.
All right, let's see. Will NA get back to me with good news? I think that's a yes, no, and we can rattle that one off
Okay.
first. So we're going to answer the second part first, Dr. V. Will NA get back to you with good news?
And this morning, Banshee's Material Matters debuted at 10 o'clock, and so several people joined us in the chat room, so that was kind of nice. Last night, we premiered our monthly modality message as the sun moved into Virgo. So that's our unique astrological reading with tarot and astrology modalities.
We have been busy, busy, busy.
And we're going to be busier.
We had an appointment with a banker on Friday. We had an appointment with an accountant on Saturday. And honestly, I don't know if I'm coming or going. So much for days off of work. But the good news is we are so close to getting everything together now to start taking donations and whatnot. We're going to be linking our business bank account soon with our accountant's page, and I think we're pretty much good to go. We just have to set up a page with our costs and where you can go and donate and stuff. So it's coming. It'll still be a little slow go as I'm still working for now.
Okay, and this is the yes or no.
Yes or no.
Will NA get back to Dr. Victor with good news?
Okay. Well, it's looking like yes, Dr. V. You've got 2 aces, which indicates yes. And the deciding card is very positive, too, especially if this was a financial-minded question about work or whatever. This is the Knight of Pentacles upright. And the Knight of Pentacles upright indicates the coming or going of some matter, I think, connected with money or business or finance.
Right, and it could just be, too, that it's basically messages coming to you as you're hoping for. But something is coming to you that is positive and most likely concerns material matters, prosperity matters. So, yeah, that outcome looks pretty assured.
Yeah, I mean, it's a positive sign either way of growth. If it's not about money, it could be about something growing, and some good news in that regard.
So now for the other part of your question.
Okay, so the other part of the question was, what do they want to tell you?
Right, somebody
Requested a phone
who
number.
has requested contact information, what is it that they want to tell you? So you're hoping we can give you a glimmer of that, of some sort. Oh, I didn't sleep well last night. I possibly only got about 3 hours of sleep, maybe 4. Something just was keeping me awake.
And though I slept well, I suddenly woke up at the crack of dawn and I could not sleep. And so I was just peering, at my blinds and watching the
sun.
darkness change to light, which is kind of nice. When we used to do camping trips many years ago, I used to love to get up in the wee hours of the morning and watch the sunrise over a lake if we happen to be camping by a lake. Which in Michigan is not hard.
You were good at that. I was like, I'm just going to sleep here. Maybe I'll have some coffee going when you get back. Yeah. Maybe not.
I would sit there quietly or skip stones into the water.
Ah.
Well, this is really interesting. So, we have the Hierophant, and it's reversed. We have the King of Swords upright. Boy, I love the colors on these cards.
Yeah,
I do.
Pop nicely.
Yeah, it does pop. And the Page of Wands reversed. What do you think?
Well, that Hierophant reverse makes me feel like the message or the information may seem unconventional. Maybe it's just because it's not really going to be official in some sense. Like maybe there's something that's less than official about the communication. It could be about the position. The King of Swords seems like it's about a person who is decision making, right? possibly leadership oriented. The Page of Wands reversed may also coincide maybe more with the Hierophant in terms of a message. So it may be that there's just something unconventional going on, like maybe they're asking for a certain level of confidentiality in your communications, like maybe they don't want to reveal certain things or they don't want certain things revealed. I don't know. Do you got a glimmer here?
Well, I think what I'm seeing is that there could be, the Page of Wands is reversed. So first off, if this is about a business or an enterprise or something related to that, there may be some delay. There may be some delay or some bottleneck that they're trying to work out. And, maybe a rather unusual thing. Maybe the circumstances around this may be, like he said, unconventional or unusual, out of the norm. But decisions are being made. Decisions are being made, and I think it's positive, but I do think there is some obstacle or block right now.
I'm sort of getting just a sense like maybe there's something in some of the paperwork that doesn't jive, like maybe something is just off, like they don't understand something, and maybe it's just a matter of a clarification needed, like maybe they just want you to clarify something. It could even be a typo of some sort that has just put the information differently. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to go on that limb, but it could be. But I do sense this, means that something is slowed. Something is slowed. It's possible that there might be changing something. Maybe there is some change because the Hierophant being this unconventional thing, I'm thinking if you were expecting things to go through just as it was, that may not be the case. There might be some twist. That's the other possibility, Dr. V. But let me see if I get anything else with the Lenormand before you.
And hi, Aaliyah. You're not too late.
Aaliyah, are you aware that you want a free reading from us? Are you aware? Because we posted that on our page for the, So you need to get in touch with us. We're going to give you an 8-card Lenormand reading. If you want it. And so just if you could email us, or if you're on Twitter, DM me on Twitter, DM TFT Tarot for Today, and we can talk about setting it up. Or you can email us at tfttoday@gmail.com.
I'm not sure what XD means. Do you know?
Oh, you weren't expecting, maybe?
Oh, yes. Well, you did win that. Best way to contact us about that might be our Gmail, TFT Tarot for Today, one word, at Gmail. I'm going to print it into the chat room now, so if you can email us there, that's a good way for us to communicate on that.
Yeah, and it'll be your choice. We can invite you to a private video where we do the reading by video and send it to you, or we can send you an email version of it.
And congratulations once again.
Yeah, you were the lucky winner. Glad you came today.
Okay, so we're going to finish up with Dr. Victor.
And I'm going to get Aaliyah on the list.
Sure.
All right.
That's fine, Aaliyah. Whatever
Awesome.
works for you.
I love taking screenshots. I'm getting very used to it. Okay, Dr. V. Well, you know what, Dr. V? Don't sweat the small stuff with what we told you here, because the first card I pulled is the Clover card, and the second card I pulled is the Birds, which means there's going to be some chatter, there's going to be some communication.
But you're lucky.
And it's going to turn out lucky for you. I mean, it's going to be fateful, good timing. Something about this is going to work out just right. But, there's always something. I mean, so there might be some minor details that have to be fixed here, but getting these 2 cards at the end seems to indicate to me that everything's going to turn out okay.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So good
Thank you,
reading,
Dr.
V. Good
Woohoo,
to see
being
you
number
again.
1 today.
Keep us posted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hey, Sonali, you are up next, and then we have Cheryl, Anthony, Sanjib, Gaurav, Merwin, KC, January Girl, Angel Rivera, Fabio, and Aaliyah. You're welcome, Dr. V, as always.
And thanks for coming. A divine message. Very good.
Okay.
I'm going to
Yeah,
use
use yours.
the the Nefertaris, the golden ones. They're very Egyptian and spiritual. Let's see what kind of divine message I might get from them, along with the Eight of Banshee.
I've been buying physical stuff for future giveaways, by the way. And that's all I'm giving away for now. Just that information. And of course, we've been promising Twitter and Facebook some giveaways, and that'll probably start happening this week.
Can you address Aaliyah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you want to tell us what you prefer, an email back with our reading, or one recorded that you can get on a YouTube channel, a private one.
So basically, I'll give you this much information, Aaliyah, so you have that to work with. The reading itself is going to be a kind of a general reading. There'll be a position that talks about you. There'll be a window on you. There'll be something about your home environment. There'll be something about your hopes and desires. And there'll be something about what is to come. So it's an 8-card reading. There's like 2 cards in each position. And it's our first totally Lenormand reading, and we want to experiment and try it out with people, so
we get some feedback.
Yeah, so we get some feedback, and that's why we are giving it away free.
All right, so we're on Sonali, who's looking for a divine message.
Yes.
Yeah, if you just email us there, then we'll email back and we'll get the ball rolling. We'll explain all the options again.
Mr. O. Okay, you need a divine message. Let's see what you've got. Well, very interesting things here. We have death, but it is reversed. We have the 3 of Pentacles upright. And we have the Knave of Pentacles, which is the page, correct?
Right.
The upright as well. You know, it's interesting that money and like material matters dominate here, or earthy kind of concerns when you asked for a spirit reading. And then we have the Death card reversed. I'm wondering what this, I mean, I have an idea, but I want to hear your thoughts on this, because
the divine message may actually be that this is really a time where maybe you're going to find a lot of inertia and not really the thrust or the push towards some more spiritual understandings. It may be that, like many people, we're going to really be thinking about the bottom line, that we have to think more about the material matters of our lives, less than a divine message, just because we're in kind of a real crappy state right now. So that's what I think with that one.
Well, you know, I'm looking at this, and I could have went one of 2 ways. I wanted to see what he said, because I'm kind of feeling like maybe the 3 of Pentacles is showing that you have been working very hard, or trying to work very hard on something, and
a level of skill and crafts.
Right. But yet, we have the Death card reversed, and maybe Spirit is trying to tell you, you know, that it is time to take your skills to a new level. The Knave of Pentacles is maybe calling upon you to seek out something higher. You know, I mean, as far as your material matters goes, that your skills maybe have brought you to a certain level of achievement or of accomplishment, and it's time for you to seek out something better.
I like that, Banshee, because I definitely see a relationship between these 2 cards, because the Page of Pentacles is somebody who's very aspiring, very focused, but also in a sense a little visionary. And the 3 of Pentacles sort of talks to like maybe a little further down that road, like somebody else has finally noticed you have these abilities and this vision, and you're artistic, or you're striving for that. So it may be saying that whatever's been going on now, it's time to kind of pull away from that and put yourself out there, I guess.
I think so.
Hi, MG.
Yeah, we've got you, MG, but you're at the bottom of the list, so it'll take a while, so I'm glad you're in a sleepless state. But welcome back. Yeah, so I think Spirit is calling you to awaken out of, you know, your ordinary work life, and seek something. It's time to make a change, maybe, and a move for the better. I'm getting that feeling.
There's a sense here to me of vision, even though it's earthly, there's a sense to me of vision, of striving for something that is actually in those cards to me. So I'm thinking that that's what it's saying, is just like what Banshee says, it's time to kind of show the world what you got.
So I see what you did say there, Sonali. Well, you know, it is going to be time to, and it's interesting because that page is about studies and exams in a way, so I could see that.
Yes, that is a card of a student too.
And so if it is about student and studies, then what I would say to you is, you know, it's telling you to break from the inertia, put your best foot forward, do your hardest, best work, because that's what this is calling on you for.
This is what happens when you do that. This is, people say, wow, you're really great.
We'll add you, Jenna, but you're way at the bottom, and you'll have to wait a moment for me to go over the list. There's quite a number of names in front of you, and we may have to cut it off with you, I think. We'll see.
Whoa.
We're pretty full up today. All right, let's see what we have.
Okay, we can see that. So we're pulling a Lenormand now for you, Sonali, and we'll see what happens. Stress.
Well, we have this, which is decisions on or a path, and we'll talk about that because I also have the bridge card. And so I think basically, you know, Spirit is telling you that you have to connect. You know, you have to connect the dots here. You have to decide, you know, what path you are now ready to take and move on. Basically, you're going to have to bridge between your studies and your future goals and directions now, you know. It's kind of time to make some choices and decisions. You have to see basically where all of this is leading to. Where are you going to take this? What bridge is this created for you?
It's really a question of choosing the path that's going to be offered. I think that really these cards do say something's happening that will change your path. So you just have to be ready for the opportunity, because it is going, if you take the right one, of course, but maybe it's both of them, they will bridge you towards this, what we see here, that Three of Pentacles.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at this camera a little bit more and see if we can't adjust it, but I'm not sure. I should have gotten a better camera. But anyway,
Well,
that's what we have for you, Sonali. I hope that helps.
it seems like when we hold things closer, it's better, but it's...
As we
it's
move
not
them
as-
away,
yeah,
it's
so-
not. Yeah, so I don't know if we need to...
We have definitely been concerned with that, but we're working on a number of our issues now, so hopefully, you know,
We have a lot of issues.
we'll get there.
Including the cats sometimes, who are not around at the moment. So, hey, I'm going to go over the list again so everybody knows where they are. We have Cheryl, we have Anthony, we have Sanjib, we have Gaurav, we have Merwin, KC, January Girl, Angel Rivera, Fabio, Aliyah, MG, and Jenna. So, Jenna, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're the 12th person down.
And Acel has joined us too.
Acel has joined. Uh-oh. Well,
Hi,
Acel,
Acel.
we'll see how we can fit you in. I believe we can, but you're going to be number 13 then on the list.
Okay, so Cheryl's asking about Lester and how he feels. Okay.
Okay. Did you bring that darn mermaid deck again?
No, I did not. I wanted to give it a break.
You wanted to give it a break.
Do you have a
Was
good
I
one to use?
complaining about it?
Thank you, Cheryl.
Not exactly, but let's use the Everyday Witch Tarot.
Alrighty.
It's so whimsical. It's whimsical and deep at the same
Ah,
time.
good. Thanks, Sonali. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Sonali.
And yeah, Jenna, we don't have cats here today. We don't know if they're going to show up or not,
And take down the whole set again.
like they did on Thursday
I
night.
see Levi, the kid, has joined us. Hi, Levi. Welcome
Levi.
to the show. I will try to add you to the list, but we're really, really tight. So you're going to be at the bottom, and I think that is definitely where I got to cut off the list today. I keep saying that, don't
And
I?
you're welcome, Sonali. Namaste.
So I'll go over the list again after this reading for Cheryl. Okay. So I hope everybody is staying safe. I don't know if we have anybody from California here today, but definitely our hearts are with you with all the fires going on in California right now. It's very concerning, very worrisome, so much loss and devastation. Very sad. And of course, our people on the Gulf Coast, they're going to experience not one, but 2 hurricanes almost back to back. Craziness. What else can 2020 do?
Don't ask.
Oh, that's right. There's an asteroid coming.
The good news with asteroids is that the world is 75 to 80% water, so it's 3 times more likely that it'll fall into the water. That makes you feel really good, eh?
Depending how big it is and how big a splash it makes, I still say.
There is that.
Okay, so how do they feel about you? Well, okay, we have the 9 of Wands and it's reversed. We have the Empress reversed. And we have the 3 of Cups reversed. Well, this is a little disappointing. Are you guys actually communicating now? Are you seeing each other, or are you just communicating with each other? Because I'm not sure I'm seeing that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're exactly on the same wavelength. If you actually were friends or becoming more acquainted, maybe something has thrown either of you off a little bit.
Okay, you're communicating. Okay.
Okay, so maybe there's just winnowing through some of that. But right now, it does maybe look like there's some possible similarity things. Like there won't be a lot of things similar between you two. You won't have some of the connections. The 9 of Wands also suggests to me that maybe they're in a period right now where they're really undecided about how to make their mark on the world, or how to go forward and defend some things that need defending, how to stand for themselves. So maybe they're not having a lot of confidence. And that could be saying like maybe they're not having confidence in you, because we're asking about their feelings for you. And so maybe this is saying they're not really sure where they're going, or they don't feel incredibly confident about what they want to do in terms of getting to know you better.
Well, I'm looking at these cards, Cheryl, and I'm thinking to myself, the 9 of Wands indicates that when it's reversed like that they're really not prepared to really make a move yet. Let's put it that way. They're definitely still scoping things out. And right now, for whatever reasons, and I'm not sure that it's necessarily personal, that they're not feeling very positive about moving forward at this time. And maybe it's because actually they're just a little slow. They're a little lazy, and they're really not serious at the moment,
I think that I agree with that. That's the Empress reverse.
Yeah,
I think that the 3 of Cups could say too that maybe they're a little gun shy, like maybe they have had some romantic ups and downs. And so, like I said, it's like maybe it's also about trying to gauge or build up their confidence a little bit. So it's not like they're totally uninterested, but like maybe there's just a bit of a wobble going on with them.
Yeah, I mean, just because these are negative cards, I'm not sure if it's a total negative thing, like, oh, they don't like you.
No, I don't see that.
I'm not seeing that here. But what I am seeing is that they're not ready to make a move for whatever reasons in their life. It's possible maybe they are communicating with somebody else. When you've got the 3 of Cups there, I'm not going to rule that out. So in other words, they're just scoping things out right now, and it's kind of early yet, I think.
Yeah, it may be too early for us to really tell. So we're going to do our Lenormand and see if we get any more detail.
Anything, yeah, as to maybe where this is going.
And amongst other things, I've also let out the most recent episode of my emotional exchanges, which I have retooled to have a little bit more clarity with the cards and the positions there. So check that out. It dropped on Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning, but it's available there on YouTube, and it's good for the whole week till next Thursday. So check that out.
Okay, so I have drawn the Sun card. And then I've drawn the like obstacle card in a way. It's the mountains. So basically, I think there is some, how should I say this? Some hills to climb in order to achieve success here. And, we asked about this person's feelings again. And so what I would say is that right now they're feeling like, this seems kind of complicated right now, or maybe that their life is complicated right now. And although they want a successful outcome, they want things to turn out right, right now, are they up for a challenge? Are they up for it at this point in time?
Right. It may be that this is what's going on, is that in terms of getting to meet anybody right now, they just sort of see more obstacles for themselves, not necessarily with the people that they might be looking at, yourself even. But in a way, I sort of feel like once they decide to start doing that, that success would probably come to them, because it just seems like that's there for them. So it's really a matter, like what I said before, I think, of them sort of gaining some more confidence about this. That's what I think. Alrighty.
It's a little hard for us to take questions in advance, MG, but you know what? I wrote yours down, so when we get to you on the list, because you're way down the list still, I'll be able to answer that question. So if you have to, get offline because you got to sleep, we'll just do it when it's your turn, okay?
Thank you, Kelly O. I'm still not satisfied with it, because I had one little faux pas too, which was I lost part of my outline for the readings, and then I had to kind of like rethink it. Naturally, of course, this morning I was going through some other things. I said, oh, there it is. So I'm going to try to merge them, because they're mostly, there's one key difference, and I'm just going to do that. But also, too, I was having problems with my cameras.
Thursday was a very frustrating day. Not only did the cats take down our entire set during our live stream, but after, when he was trying to tape the emotional exchanges, the cameras didn't set up right, and then he lost the reading.
And then I lost my mind.
And I helped him recreate it, because I remembered some of what he was telling me about it. So, yeah.
I'm having a problem getting old, because I get way too frustrated. I look like a babe. I know I look like a babe, right? But I get really frustrated because
he looks like a babe.
Old and cranky.
There. our little soft porn for the show. All right.
You're welcome, Cheryl. I hope that helped.
Yeah, Cheryl, I'm sorry I didn't have better news for you, Cheryl, but that's just the way the cards fell today. But it's just a snapshot in time. Keep those communications lines going, because I wouldn't give up yet.
Awful, Angel. No.
Hey, Anthony, you are up. I'm going to turn red here. You are up, and then Sanjib, Gaurav, Merwin, KC, January Girl, Angel Rivera, Fabio, Aliyah, MG, Jenna, Asel, and Levi. Or Levi? Levi. Oh, awesome. Oh, well, Anthony, I don't know if you're on Twitter. Check out our Twitter page and follow us if you are. Because I will have some stories of my own to tell in a week. But I cannot say anything more than that right now. And it's not quite like your situation. Let me just say that. I am a little bit more fortunate. But I hear you.
Okay, we see your question there, yeah.
So let's see, changing careers. So what is it exactly you're interested? Okay, you want to be wondering if you should wait to be recalled or move on.
What deck?
Spray the lower floor. Yeah. There's all the sanitation that has to be done at work and jobs. Okay, so let's see, which deck? I guess I will use... Wait, you want to use one, don't you? I used one last time.
Sure. I'll use my Tarot of the Northern Shadows.
So let's see. Do we want to ask if they should wait to be recalled? Do a yes, no first, and then do a three card?
Yes, okay.
We'll do that.
So we're going to ask the first one as a yes or no, and then we're going to move on from there depending on what that answer is. Should you wait to be recalled?
There's a lot of that going around.
Yep. And good luck with that, because it's very trying times right now for a lot of people.
I think some jobs are just never going to come back again, but others will. It's certainly been hard on the entertainment and restaurant industries,
Oh, yeah.
as well as education. I mean, it's crazy. All right. You want me to count them?
Sure. Should you
Okay.
wait to be called back?
Well,
Yes.
it's leaning towards yes. We definitely we have two aces here and they're upright, the ace of pentacles and the ace of cups, and that's just indicating that it's leaning towards a yes. And then we have the five of rods though. So, I don't know if it's like a situation where, that people are called back by rank or by let's say if it's a union job, that it's by, seniority levels, because it seems like there's a lot of people vying for jobs. And maybe that's why you should try to wait if you can financially do it, because there's a lot of people vying for the available jobs right now. There's lots of competition for the jobs that are left. So it might be a good idea to hold out a while longer to see if you will be recalled. That's the way it's leaning.
Right, and for me, what I'm wondering too is that I see that as the competition, but I'm also thinking too that maybe, depending on what you do, it's also about the skill sets and that they're looking at who they need back first. So maybe that if your skill
Right.
sets are closer to what they need now-ish, or whenever they're planning for that, this is coinciding with what that may be worthwhile to wait, but it's really going to depend on what your finances and
Right.
your world says you should do.
Don't take risks that you can't manage right now. And the thing is that, too, with this card, what I was thinking, like you said, union. So if people are like you're low, like let's say you haven't been at the job as long and there's a lot of people in front of you to go back first, you may not be able to wait that out, or you might be worried that that job's not there. So just because this says it's leaning towards yes, it may not work out for you to do that. So
It is not a positive yes. It's more like about 60 to 70% yes.
yeah, because of that five of rods is a little bit contentious there, I think.
So now we're going to do the second part of that
I
question.
think what I want to do is just see about switching careers, and we're just going to throw
What that
three
would
cards
mean,
and
yeah.
see what that brings us for you.
All right.
And everybody, don't forget to like our page, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and then we will have, you'll get notified when we do our live streams and our videos come out. And I'll tell you, probably in months ahead, there will be more videos coming out.
Yes, if we ever get around to it, but we will.
So I'm going to be able to make an announcement on Twitter and Facebook like Friday of this week, I think, about some things that have been going on with me that I was not thinking I was going to be able to say anything about for a while, but suddenly the sky is parted and I'm able to do it. So stay tuned for As the Banshee's World Turns. All right.
Okay, Anthony.
So we have the Nine of Swords here, and that is upright. We also have Justice card reversed. And then which is this? This is Six of Swords, right? Six of
Yes.
Swords is reversed.
Yes.
Interesting. So you know what? It is looking to me like despite the pain and hardship, and despite... and also a feeling of maybe that there's been some unfairness, or you just feel like, this was just too rough and unbalanced is happening for you right now. It almost seems like you're not going to be going anywhere.
Right, it does look like that. Sometimes with the Nine of Swords, I get the feeling like there's a bit of pain there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a bit of pain there, but it's something that you will get through because it really is less direct. It may be more abstract in a way. It may be more about situations that are not really directly impinging on you, but there's emotional pain there. But what Banshee is saying is that the Six of Swords reversed really seems to suggest that even considering all that, you're more likely to want to stick around, or forces are going to be moving you that way.
It's possible that the forces around you, meaning that, you know, you might be trying for other jobs and stuff, but nothing may be panning out for a while. It's like I said, I think it's the environment we're in right now. It's very, very tight.
Right. So finally, with the Justice reversed, it just may indicate not that it's really about unfairness, but just that there sort of is a sense of a level playing field and that anything could possibly happen. There's not really a direct path, I think, a path of justice necessarily.
Well, that's good, Anthony. So maybe you will get back there. If you can financially do it, I would hold out a while and see how it goes because things may shift and change. But let's see what the Lenormand may add. Well, I think it's just basically talking about the reality right now. The first card I pulled is the Coffin. And then the second card I pull is the Ring, which is kind of like a contract broken. You know what I mean? Or a commitment broken. And what I really think it's reflecting of is just being put, you know, on ice right now. I really think it's just talking about losing, you know, the job and the structure that you have in place now.
Right. It could be that maybe with some companies, as they're trying to reorganize and reopen, they may have to do things like I was talking about leveling the playing field. Like maybe they're going to be doing things to kind of try to put everything on some sort of normative level. That could mean not really great things in terms of union sonorities, but I'm not really sure how I could articulate that, but just that maybe there could be changes at some sort of other level that would trickle down.
You know, and it's possibly could be indicating too that there may be changes to some people's contracts. I assume that would have to be negotiated with the union, but maybe to get people back to work that there may have to be some changes and adjustments that are being made. And some of those may not be really happy ones necessarily, but you know, it's just the state of things right now.
Not a lot of options for people.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I had a little bit of better news, but I mean, I think the good news out of this is I have a feeling you will possibly be called back, Anthony.
We hope so.
And keep us posted
Yeah,
on
let us know
that.
if you can. Thank you. And I see SP has joined us.
I've got SP on the list, but SP,
You're probably going to be our last one.
didn't I say that after Levi? So we're
I
going to
know.
see if we can fit you all in. We're going to have to move now. Move, move, move. So Sanjib, you are up. And after Sanjib is Gaurav, Merwin, KC, January, Angel Rivera, Fabio, Aaliyah, MG, Jenna, Asel, Levi, and SP.
Ay caramba.
You're welcome, Anthony. Thanks for joining us. Go Michigan.
Go Michigan.
I love my state. I've been a Michigander all my life. I wouldn't trade
too,
it for
me too,
anything.
yep.
I just love it. Well, maybe some of the politics sometimes either way I don't like. Maybe some of the racial divides we have, but I love my state. Anyway. All right. I mean, I don't have an ocean, but I have some Great Lakes. All right, so is she telling me what she really feels or not? She's not being completely honest. Okay.
Which one do you want?
Well,
I'm going to use my ancestral
yeah,
pen
go ahead.
here.
You can use another one of yours.
It's shorter, but slightly wider. They're a little almost, well, they're still rectangular, but I like this deck.
I'll pull out
That's
this
the
one
other
again, and then sadly, the next one will be the ginormous deck again. But you know, I don't know if it's the card stock they use on this deck, but this deck seems a lot thicker than most tarot decks to handle. Okay, Sanjib, we'll see what we can figure out. What's going on? I forgot myself, Mr. O. There. All right, so let me just take a look at the tone of that question again. Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. You've got the sun upright here, which is pretty good. That's to start. But then you have the 6 of that's wands, right, Steve?
Right.
6 of wands, and that's reversed. And then you have the 4 of cups, and that is reversed. So I wonder here. It seems like something is going to come out in the open soon. I'd like to think it's positive. The 4 of Cups is indicating that there is something happening. There's going to be some movement for sure, something happening. But in the end, is it really something that's going to be advantageous to you? The 6 of Wands is usually a card of victory, but it's reversed here, which, we could say, okay, the opposite of victory is defeat. Or, if not defeat, a setback. So I'm wondering here if you might not be hearing what you want to hear, or everything you think, that is really on her mind. That maybe there are some other things that have yet to come out and see the light of day.
Well, it could be that that's the truth here is that the sun means that you're going to find out one way or the other if that's true, if things are like that. I don't know if that's exactly how you said that or not. And then with the 6 of Wands reversed, it does sort of seem that that outcome maybe is not necessarily making you feel like you're ahead in the game. With that 4 of Cups reversed, it may be that something clicks at some point, or that you get information that makes you feel, and it could be related to that, where it's at.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling clearly what that is, but I'm feeling you will know that it will come to you. So it may be that there's something really kind of unknown there that has to be pierced.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it's going to be totally happy. It might seem like a setback in some way. The 4 of Cups sometimes indicates somebody who wants to get out and be active, and it may be that this person may want to not settle down yet. It's possible. So let me see what the Lenormand adds to that and see if it becomes a little clearer. Well, it's not a lot clearer, but maybe. All right, the clouds are kind of considered a negative card in the Lenormand, but there's one thing about the clouds, and that is there is a dark side and there is a light side to the clouds. And so the way I pulled the cards, this is on the light side, and that is the ring or a commitment. I think this person is going through a period of some confusion right now, and they're not really clear on what they want. But notice there's sun here and there's sun here. And so I'm feeling that it's possible that, things might clear up and they might at some point be more willing to make a commitment. But it seems like they're not at that stage yet. But ultimately, it's possible that they might be interested in committing or, joining with you in some way. So that's a positive end to this. But I'm going to say that, it might take some time and some doing getting there.
Not specifically about those cards, but I think overall the idea here is that they're really working on some issues too, I think, and that they're trying to figure out where they're at. They're just not quite there yet. So this may be a question you'll have to ask in the future, or you'll have to still be hoping to find that answer.
Yeah. So I hope that helps. And check in with us again for sure. And
Thanks.
Gaurav, I see you posted your question. Oh, it got retracted. You can post it now, Gaurav. You are up. Okay, I see it there. Thank you. And then Merwin, KC, January Girl, Angel Rivera, Fabio, Aaliyah, MG, Jenna, Asel, Levi, and SP. Huh? Oh. Okay, thinking, feeling about currently. You're not in contact.
No, I meant that
Okay.
somebody else showed up.
Library is sprayed. I haven't heard that we have to do that, but then again, we're not allowing the public in. But we do have to clean areas we worked at X amount of, I can't remember how many times, but yeah, there is some cleaning that we will have to do when I go back.
Hi, Divine Universe.
And the Floyd is here.
We're truly not sure. We're not sure if we can get to everybody.
We're not sure, but at the very least, if it gets really bad, we may have to just draw a card for individuals at the end and do it that way.
Yeah, we can do that.
But
We've
thank
done
you
that before.
all for coming, and Divine
Thank you.
You, thanks for stopping back in. And the Floyd, we haven't seen you in a while either.
So we'll try, but we might have to give a shorter reading. We'll see what we can do. You're welcome, Sanju.
You're very welcome. All right. Oh, that's cool. Well, it's always good to see you here.
Well, if you stick around, we'll ask if you're still here, and we're still doing that.
Oh, that's interesting, Sanjib, and I might be doing that. After a certain point in time, the sky might be the limit. But for now, I don't know. I was thinking of actually doing some review videos soon of some Lenormands, but maybe I'll put that on, I'll put that on my radar.
It's kind of in our idea that we do want to do some sort of tutorials. We're just not sure when we'll get around to all that.
And I don't know, maybe even some private sessions with people,
That's true.
to practice. It's hard to say. But of course, some of these things might be some of them may be part of our package when we, establish our business too. So we'll see.
It's really funny, January Girl, because on Thursday we didn't have a lot of people, so we kind of just breezed through and everything was cool. Today we're kind of like up to the gills.
And it was a good thing Thursday too, because our entire set went down when the cats took it down. So, oh my goodness. Okay, we're starting with the Page of Cups, which is very interesting here.
Yes, why is that?
And we have the Hierophant reversed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the World upright. Well, so let me see. I wanted to see this. You're not in contact. Well, I don't know. Were you in a relationship with this person before?
They've mentioned this person before.
Yeah, I think you have. Because this looks, for the most part, rather positive. I'm getting the feeling here of kind of a rekindling of a romance or a start of something, or that maybe they are looking at you in a more romantic, positive sense.
But maybe it's still at a level where it's kind of unconventional, like maybe they're entertaining these thoughts, they're thinking about what their moves might be or how they'll do this, but they're still coming from sort of a sense of not exactly the way everyone else might do it. So like maybe they like playing a game in a way, or they like being mysterious in a way.
Well, or it's possible that, yeah. Well, and the World is here at the bottom, which seems to indicate to me that they would feel like, that you would be good for them in some way. Well, I don't know if maybe, the World could be indicating here that she feels she's not good enough for you, that it's possible that, she feels you have so much going for you that she's not good enough.
Well,
I think that's a possibility.
That she is in a drive to be more perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe she feels she has to be, she has to be better to really get appreciated by you in some way. This is kind of an unusual reading.
I think the key card is going to be this one because it
Hierophant?
really talks about not exactly conventional attitudes, or about people who do things maybe a little bit less than normally, like they're just a little bit of a rebel, or they're a little bit unusual in some respects.
I think what it might mean is one of two things, is that either she or you, this person or you are not interested in in settling down on a conventional relationship at this point in time. One is looking at the other that way. It's like, I don't know if I can do this right now, or I don't know if they are really interested in the kind of relationship I want to have.
Well, maybe she likes you, the Page of Cups, or she's interested in you, but she's not sure if you can be her world because maybe you're the one who's unconventional for her, or you're the one who isn't in a process that they like, that maybe there's just something, there's an attraction, but there's also a realization that maybe it's not exactly the right attraction. You kind
It
of
is
said
an
that too, in a way.
interesting combination here, and I almost think that with the world that it's possible too that she is working on herself right now. And so that even though she may think of wanting to either reconnect with you or get connected with you, she's too busy in her own little world right now. Just as simple as that.
So we're going to do our Lenormand and see what that tells us.
Well, and look what's come out again.
The Sun again.
Oh. It's a very popular card today. We have the Sun and the Compass after. And so I really think that what she's focusing on is looking at what direction she should go in her life that will bring her success and happiness. And so, I mean, if she feels fulfilled and happy through you, that's possible, or this person, I don't know why I'm using genders all the time because I try not to, but at any rate, this person may just be looking for what is pointing them in the direction of their happiness and success right now.
Right, and it may be that they're just not really on a drive to be in a relationship. I'm not saying that they don't want to be in a relationship, but it's not what their main focus is, maybe.
Yeah. So that's what we have for you right now, Gaurav. I hope that helps. It was a little bit vaguer for me, those cards.
It was. But I guess you get that sometimes with the
Do we
Hierophant.
think she will contact? Well, didn't we have the Page of Cups?
Is a message.
Yeah, it's possible. I think it is possible because the Page of Cups is kind of a message, a romantic message it can indicate as well.
It just may come unexpectedly or in an unusual way. Maybe that's the other thing about the Hierophant reversed.
But, my advice would be, and it always is, for people, is to not always wait on the other person. You get it all out there. Lay your cards on the table. In other words, it's time maybe to, really say again where you stand and that you'd like an answer, and see if you can get one, because nobody deserves to be kept waiting. My feeling. Hey, Merwin, I see your question is there.
Hi,
That's
Merwin.
awesome. Thank you. After Merwin will be Casey. Do you want to use one of your decks?
Sure.
And then January Girl, Angel Rivera, Fabio, Leah, MG, Jenna, Asel, Levi, SP, and Floyd, and Divine U's on there if Divine U wants a reading. Hey, you are welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate hearing that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if anything comes up there, Merwin. So I don't know if Angel's still on there, but I just wanted to say that it seems like in Michigan lately, this weekend, they've been having some trouble getting the COVID case numbers. I don't know why. and so they're fudging them a bit. One day was really low and the next day was super high, and they said, well, some of those numbers are for the day before. Well, which is which? Who knows? And then they said, oh, the numbers might be high for the next few days because of that. Well, is it because of that, or are cases going up? I'm kind of disappointed in this. I don't like that. So I don't know what happened, but things seem to be a bit messy right now. Okay, Merwin. This is a very interesting card in getting this here as Justice reversed, and I'll explain that in a minute. And we have the Three of Pentacles upright. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So some positive, earthy kind of cards, which to me also is about the body, you know. But it's kind of funny that we're talking about, you know, the rheumatologist, because here's the Justice card, you know, a card of balance. And, you know, wonder how your balance is doing lately, you know, because, you know, I know with the bones and with the body, you know, sometimes we have balance issues, which can cause falls and cause all other kinds of things to happen. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue. However, it looks to me that if you are concerned about, I'll talk in, you know, generally about the rheumatology first, and then I'll get into maybe general for the week ahead. But it looks to me like, you know, things are very positive with this appointment. Like they may be able to come up with some treatment plan or some work that you can do to improve your condition in some way. You know, even if it's minor things that help, any little bit helps.
I believe this is a good sign for health. I think that basically somebody may actually say to you, "You're doing everything right that you can." They see that, and that I think it means you're good with that. I'm confused more by Justice reversed in this instance, because I'm just wondering if it might mean if there are any test results that you might be looking at, blood tests or something like that, there might be an ambiguity about them, and that they might suggest you need to take the test again or come back later and take the test. So something like that, maybe.
Oh, hey, Amelia, welcome and thank you, but I'm afraid we aren't going to be able to read for you today. Our list is closed. We're just full up with readings right now. So
Yeah, we're sorry about that.
try to get into our live streams early. Our stream schedule is up. And if you subscribe and put on notifications, you'll be notified when we're reading.
We're sort of in the best of both worlds there, Sanjib, because we are basically in a suburb area of the city of Detroit, but it's pretty...
It's not a real suburb because it's kind of downriver, further south of Detroit. So it's a smaller city.
It's only been about 30 some years ago that this area here was really turned into the condos. It was kind of farmland up until about 30 years ago. So it's a little bit woodsy, but it's definitely a suburb city.
So hey Merwin, I've got that for you, and I wanted to touch on the other cards a minute, but let me go through the Lenormand really briefly, and then we have the letters. So I think what's going to happen out of this appointment is you're going to get news or some information that is going to benefit your health. You know, it's like the wishing well, or also these wells sometimes were about healing. So I think this is a very positive sign for that. And
Sure.
getting the letter or news means some kind of document or maybe instructions on how to make things better or improve things, or what needs to be done. The other thing I would say about the cards up here that maybe I didn't mention before is that it looks as though, you know, if you're worried about financial matters in the week ahead, things seem to be moving in the right direction. The Ace of Pentacles is growth. So, you know, as far as your material matters goes, that looks really positive. Just in case, I didn't want to make it all about, you know, the rheumatology appointment. But I see a lot of that coming up here.
Well, the other thing, too, is that because it was a little bit of a general reading, it could also be, too, that the wishing well in the letter indicates just some communication that tells you something you had been waiting for is going to happen, or good news of some sort like that.
Yeah, I'm counting on this being pretty good because most of these cards here, except for Justice, you know, are really auspicious. So I think it's looking good. Hang in there and let us know.
Thanks, Merwin.
That's what we have for you. And we're on KC.
KC.
KC is up, and then January Girl, Angel Rivera, Fabio, Aaliyah, MG, Jenna, Acel, Levi, SP, Divine You, and the Floyd.
My goodness, we're packed. Can I have my deck?
No, you can't.
Then I'll give you these. And
You know, I was thinking of, I didn't buy it, Mr. O, I didn't buy it, but Llewellyn was having a sale, and I was almost going to buy this black and gold tarot deck just so I'd have some shiny one to match your shiny one. You're welcome, Merwin. Hey, Libra, you didn't make it. I am so sorry. We are so booked solid, so
Yeah.
we're just not going to be able to fit you in today. Apologies.
The Northern Shadows.
Oh, okay.
You do like that one. Yeah, we're sorry, Libra Cuss, but hopefully maybe we can get you on Thursday or whenever you come back.
Oh, I bought a few things, Angel. But actually, I bought a couple things for giveaways. It wasn't all for me this time. And I did buy a friend the same deck I bought for myself, and it's on pre-order. It's the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. So I'll be getting that one.
We have a friend who claims that he is a descendant of Edgar Allan Poe. His last name is Poe.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly what the connection is. It might not be a direct connection, like it might be a nephew, great-great-great-great-great-grandnephew, something like that.
And I bought a book, too, so I did pretty well with Llewellyn. Great sale. Really good sale they had going. And there were other decks I might have wanted, but I kind of reined myself in because I am getting a couple other things. I'm getting those Lenormand decks. I'm really excited about them. And I'm getting a tarot deck from Game Crafter, too. I'm holding off discussing that. That'll be a surprise for the live stream.
Okay, you have the Six of Discs or Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Ace of Cups reversed. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune, but it is also reversed.
Oh, man, Casey.
So it's a little bit of good and not as much very good. The Six of Discs says to me that maybe you're going to be involved in a charitable venture. Maybe somebody's going to ask you if you can help them out with something. You're going to volunteer your time or your services or something. It's also possible, too, that maybe you're going to be looking for a gift or some help from somebody, too.
Awesome, Casey. I love those decks. I do. Well,
then with the Ace of Cups reversed, it could be that maybe if something romantic or something pleasurable was starting, there may be some delays with that. So maybe it's probably most likely related to the pandemic, people having to wait, or maybe it's something else. Sometimes a lot of people that come here are doing more long distancey things, and so sometimes I think that just has a built-in rate of delay getting to the actual meeting point, But I don't know anything about that because I've never done any of that.
So what I would say is this is not necessarily a positive week for you, Casey. When I'm looking at that Six of Pentacles, and then I'm looking at the Ace of Cups reversed, it's like it's not your cup runneth over, it's like your cup runneth dry. And so I'm just saying that, but the
Give till it hurts.
That is... You just took the words right out of my mouth.
But that's because we're
That's
psycho.
literally what I was
psychic.
going to say. I was going to say, it seems like you're giving too much of yourself, almost to the point of pain. And this maybe is not the right time to be doing that. The wheel is cautioning, hey, this is not going in your favor right now. Don't let it all go because it's either not being appreciated, it's not being accepted. It just seems like it's falling on deaf ears or something.
Sal, you are on the list, but you're about 7 down from here.
So yeah, that's a bummer, Casey. But let's see what we have with the Lenormand. Well, I know that would hurt if I tried to do that stuff.
It hurts even to read those words. Inferential, what's that? No. The lilies. And the park, right?
No, guess
The
again.
maze, the maze.
The maze.
Well, it looks like a park. There's a gazebo there.
Yes, it does. I admit.
Okay, so.
Oh, I was going to let you
out.
go first. It sounded like you were ready to go.
Well, this one colors that one, right?
Yes, that is correct. So what is a maze? A maze is confusion. A maze, maybe more than confusion, is just maybe getting lost. Getting lost on how to bring something to maturity in a way. Maybe something, it almost sounds like you're inferential statistics a little bit. How to get to the point of having this maturate and be where you want to be with it. It seems like you're just going in circles.
So maybe most of this was reflective about some of your work conundrums right now. That certainly seems to be
Yes.
possibly about that.
Exactly, Casey.
It could just be like what Banshee says, I think. I'm just going to repeat her, that basically it's confusing trying to get to the end of this, get to where this is leading, because it's the lilies and it's a moving thing or a growing thing.
Yeah. So I would say this week is not going to be a real up week for you. It's one thing if you give, but the thing is there's got to be some takeaway from it. There's got to be something you get back. And it seems like it's a one-way street right now. It's draining you. So just keep that in mind and try to keep your spirits up and try to do what you can to turn that wheel back to the positive.
The wheel always turns around.
That's right. So hang in there, KC. That's what we have for you.
Thanks again for everything.
January girl, you are up. And then Angel Rivera, Fabio, Aaliyah, MG, Jenna, Asal, Levi, SP, Divine You, and the Floyd. And we still have 45 minutes, roughly.
Yeah. Excuse me. Ah.
Okay, well, let's ask.
Thanks, Kellyo.
Let's ask if you're going to get it.
Which one? Which deck?
Oh, you're welcome, KC. This one.
Excuse me.
All right. So are we doing a yes, no on that? I think
Yes.
that's how we should start. Okay. So we're going to ask if you are getting the bureaucratic job. And speaking of jobs, Mr. O is hired and will be starting after Labor Day. Yes, retired for a couple months and hired again. But he's only working 15 hours a week. I think he can handle that.
Pin money.
Yeah, eating out money.
Well, maybe. No, I hear that. You're like me in a way, January girl. I'm always a little nervous.
He's working at a library.
Yeah, I'm working at a library. I'm just going
A
to be
public library near us.
shelving books.
Yeah.
The director said, well, I'm only interviewing 3 other people, and you're obviously the most qualified. And then he said, in fact, you're overqualified. Whatever.
I did this wrong. Hold on. 3. I got it.
Thanks. It's just a minimum wage job, and it's 15 hours a week, and it'll just keep me out of trouble and keep me kind of moving around. My body needs to keep moving. I can't keep sitting around, and I can't go to gym anymore, so I need to be active. Thank you. Thank you, Angel. I think I'll like it there. I hope I can stay safe.
Well, this is interesting because it's leaning towards probably no now. But see, there's a lot of wiggle room here, January girl. There's a lot of wiggle room. I definitely think, well, first off, let me start with this one. There is the Devil is one of the other cards that we've gotten. And the Devil, we'll talk about that. And then we got the Fool. And so...
Which is a grand adventure about to begin. Maybe.
Yeah, it's almost as if I wouldn't rule this job out just because it's saying it's leaning towards no. But I think that maybe it's possible that the bureaucratic job, even though they're hiring and they're looking for someone, maybe there's going to be some holdups because of money or, because of the situation right now with the COVID. Maybe they have to delay things a bit. I'm not sure, but it seems like there might be some obstacles or hurdles and some things that are holding them back from hiring you right away.
I agree with that, and I'm getting a sense of a number 7 in my head, so I don't know if you know how long you might be waiting. Is it 7 days? Is it 7 weeks? So I don't know if that's relevant or not. It's just sort of figuring in my head there. But I agree with Banshee. I think that there's probably just sort of an ambiguity right now. The devil sort of does represent certain types of ambiguities, so it's possible that they're just trying to figure out, because it's really about material things too. One could say this is a Capricornian card. Capricorn kind of rules some of the workplace employment situations. So on that level, it could be a good sign.
Well, and this could
It's just
also be
ambiguous.
reflecting some of the uncertainty that you yourself feel. Because do you feel like, for example, if you took this job, that it would restrict you in some way? You wouldn't be happy there? You'd feel instead kind of tied down or bogged down in things that you don't want to do, and that you are longing for a different adventure? Maybe going back into sales is something that really would appeal to you more. So I'm kind of thinking that that's a possibility as well.
Note to the chat room, Anthony, I don't ever want to garden again. I did so much gardening when I was a kid and a young adult. I'm done with gardening.
Oh man, neither of us have green thumbs at all. I say I have a black thumb because everything kind of just dies.
I'll just say dark thumb.
A dark thumb, yeah, I don't mean any, right. But it's like I just can't seem to grow anything. It never works for me. I either overwater, underwater, whatever.
So let's go ahead and pull that Lenormand so we can send January Girl on her way.
Well, it is a little uncertain to me, January Girl. I think that this is kind of a wait and see thing now. You've got the app in there, and I think it could go either way. And maybe it'll be on you in the end as to whether you're really going to want the job once it's presented to you.
That's always a possibility, I suppose, that maybe you just will choose not. But I don't feel that way. I feel if it's offered, you probably should accept it.
Well, if nothing else, it can be just an interim thing, and then you move from there.
Oh.
Well, so I have the bridge. Yeah, it's an interesting combination again, because the dice, in a way, well, I don't know if it's kind of like a fool-like card, but there is risks and gambles involved, and the bridge here is how to manage risk versus security here, I think, might be the key. How do you go from a risky situation to a secure situation? So in other words, what is more risky for you? Taking this job or getting this job if it's offered, or going back into sales?
Well, I think what January Girl's saying is that this possible job offers more stability. So I guess it's saying you should probably take that chance if it's offered. You should. You absolutely should.
So instead of taking the risks, walk the bridge over to that job. We'll just have to do a wait and see on this, because it's really unclear that it's no to me. I really do think you still have a good shot at this job, but I think it's up to you if you're going to want it in the end. And sometimes we apply for stuff that looks great on paper, but once we hear people talking about it, or you meet the people there, you may have a completely different attitude.
Like that job I stayed 1 week at and then just quit.
Right. Yeah. Yes, like that.
When you work at a place and you walk in and you say, "What's that smell?" And then
gosh.
somebody says, "Oh, that's the pit."
It was definitely like a, what would you call it, a industrial job. Yeah. Which didn't appeal to him at all. Absolutely.
Well, everybody had to wear face masks, and that was like 40 years ago.
Well, hang in there, January girl. We'll see
I
what
hope
happens. He said something about the number 7, so maybe it won't be too long, 7 days, hopefully not 7 weeks before you hear things. Sometimes with bureaucratic stuff, though, or even like in academia where I work, things can take forever. I remember one job years ago I applied for in an academic environment, and 3 months went by and I had already written the job off. I wasn't even called for an interview when I finally got a call. So you never know. Hey, Angel, you are up. Angel Rivera. And then Fabio, Aaliyah, MG, Jenna, Asel, Levi, SP, Divine You, and Floyd.
And Amola, we're not going to be able to get to you. Amol, we have actually closed. We have as many readings as we can do today.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that to them already, but they might not have heard it. Oh, it's very true.
You wanted a general one, if I
Oh.
recall right, Angel, right? You had asked that earlier when you were getting ready to make your rounds. You're welcome.
Okay.
I'm going to check just to see if that's true or not.
And you know what? I'm shuffling this again, but can I use the other deck? I want to use the light seers, I think, for this one. The week ahead.
Thank you. I was looking for it.
Yeah, well, let's just say shoes have dropped for my place, Angel. Shoes have dropped and may still be dropping for all I know. I'm usually the last to know stuff.
Apparently it wasn't tight enough for me, but I'm, starting off at the bottom again. I'm just thinking, like, what would happen if this director ended up leaving and somebody said, could you run it until we find another director? Like, sure. Not.
Shuffle?
Yes.
Well, you know what? At this point in my career, as I want to focus on other things now, like the tarot readings and other things in my life, if I got a part-time job again, I wouldn't mind shelving books. I think that'd be awesome. I get to look at all the books, see what's out there again. I have no problem doing any kind of library work. I'm just that kind of person.
That's totally where I'm at, because I really like reading again, and I'm thinking like, oh, good, I'm going to be able to grab all the books hot off the shelf. Sorry, Amola, but if you subscribe, we will notify you when we're on. We are on usually Sundays like now, and then Thursdays evenings from 7 to 9 p.m. We just really are busy today, so we're sorry about that.
Well, I think some more shoes could be dropping, Angel. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, and that's reversed. We have the Two of Swords, and that's reversed. And then we have the Devil reversed. Well, if I had to look at this, and I mean, I know you asked us generally that campus-wide, so, I get the feeling that there is something going on. Finances are not doing well, at your place of employment. And the Two of Swords shows some lack of balance, and also that maybe things are not being communicated, how should I say this, openly. That there may be things that they're holding back on revealing. There's definitely some kind of imbalance with communications there that may almost border on being unfair. Like maybe you're being told one thing and then something else is happening behind the scenes. And then we have the Devil reversed here, which to me indicates, it's like breaking free of something, liberating yourself from something that's happening. So I'm wondering if you yourself might be able to rise above what is going on here.
I'm wondering if there's just the Devil reversed is suggesting some changes in management or changes in the staffing level. I don't think it affects you directly, other than the fact that maybe you're going to get somebody who's going to tell you new things to do and you're not used to their style, and maybe it just feels, not good, like they just shoved somebody in there. So I'm wondering about something like that. In general, I agree with Banshee on the other things though too. It just sort of seems like there's an energy here that sounds like people are trying to figure out how to maybe change some horses in midstream, as some of the realities of we can't really open up because we didn't really take care of
Right,
things.
and we don't have enough money, resources. I would like to think that
Yeah.
sometimes our academic institutions could think more outside the box than the business world does on how we do things.
But they're being directed by their agencies and governments too. Everybody says they want to do this because they just somehow think this momentum is going to pull everything back to normal. It's wrong.
Well, but what I'm really getting at is the fact that, the first thing people think of is lay off and do this and that. There could be maybe other things that they're just not thinking about. And it just depends how much people value the people they have, and also what the motivations are. COVID for broad-based corporate wise, COVID can be a great excuse to eliminate people that are either too old, or they feel are too old. They feel that might be, a liability because they'll get really sick with COVID because they may have those pre-existing conditions. So they'll find clever ways to do this where you are not able to call them on that. And I'm speaking not just about academia. I see this in other businesses, and it's just a great excuse to clean house. And maybe some changes and things that they've wanted to do for some time, but couldn't find a good way to do it. This has given them that opportunity.
I'm aware of this happening in some non-academic libraries. I know of one library in the Detroit area where almost immediately,
Well, I'm going to leave this up.
almost immediately they laid off everybody and told everybody that they would have to reapply for their positions.
Yeah, that's just awful.
And that was one of the suburb areas north of us here. And then there's another library where maybe they just knew that they had certain people they didn't want to come back, and so they basically recreated things so that they could eliminate that position. They actually did that.
Well,
they said, we don't need you anymore because we've had to reformulate these things. And it was a person who had been there a very long time.
I had also heard of a place that said they were going to cut back X amount of money, and they needed to make these cuts, and they were going to be just X amount of the budget, but it was very clear to everybody involved that they cut far beyond that. And so they weren't being told the whole story. So
yeah, it's going to be really kind of edgy for a lot of people, and people are just going to have to try to figure out what they can do to take care of themselves. And that's what I think about the pandemic, is that we can't really depend on people to take care of themselves. You're going to have to take care of yourself. Always wear your mask. You got the fish.
I do have the fish,
With our
which is a
Lenormand.
positive sign. And I do have the bridge, which came after the fish. And I'm thinking here that what this might be telling me, Angel, is that, you need to kind of, I think finances are still going to be okay, but you're going to maybe have to find some way to bolster them in case there is some kind of gap. I do sense that there may be some issues, there might be some cutbacks here that could affect you where you may have to find a way to bridge some gap with your money.
Right. I think that the bridge is saying that there's a structure there that will allow you to find your way to swim the currents, but you got to basically make sure that structure will hold you.
Yeah. You're absolutely right about the people under. I feel for them too right now.
And that's what I'm referring to, because a lot of those examples I gave a few moments ago were part-timers.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think, I think you're going to be okay, but I'm not sure about your institution. And there will be some changes. And that's not to say there won't be some cuts. Like I know some places are cutting, like right now they're not getting anything put into their retirement funds and stuff like that. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Keep me posted.
And hi, Lisa. I'm not sure if we will be able to get to you. We're really packed at the moment.
No, we cannot.
And we only have less than a half an hour. So
yeah, because we just turned a couple people away, Lisa. I'm
thanks
sorry.
for dropping in. But You're welcome to watch, of course, or maybe to come back later.
It's
But
always good to see you. You're so nice to us.
yes,
But
you're very nice to us.
unfortunately,
Thank you.
we're barely going to make this today.
You're welcome, Angel.
And you're welcome, Angel. I'll be curious to see what you have to say if anything comes out this week. Hey, Fabio, are you still with us? You are up. And then Aaliyah, MG, Jenna, Acel, Levi, SP, Divine U, and Floyd.
And we are at the point, though, where some people may end up dropping out because they've waited too long or they had something else to do. So it is always possible that we might have room, but we're not going to guarantee that at this point. Thanks, Lisa, and we hope you have a wonderful day, too. You're welcome, Angel. It's been a great day so far. We love it when we have so many, because the time's almost over, and it's like we've just been reading and having fun.
I know,
here.
it's like, wow, we don't have to kill time, even though we do sometimes.
So,
hey,
Fabio, are you still with us? I'm going to type their name in. And Fabio, I think, is a new person.
It does seem like we have less people watch. Oh, there. Okay, awesome. Thanks for joining us, Fabio.
All right.
Ex-girlfriend still loves you. Okay. Oh, so an Aries. All right. A March Aries. I'm an April one, so I know Aries. Oh, do you want to use? Well, I'm using this again.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for the question, Fabio. So, kind of a yes or no?
I was debating whether to do that or not.
Okay.
Let's do that and see what we get. We might have to throw another card or two. Or three. So we have to be brief. All right, with that. Shuffle.
If you like spooky, supernatural, weird things that are semi-realistic or grounded in some historical things, there's a new series on HBO called Lovecraft Country, and it sort of takes the 50s racialism era in the States here and smacks it up against supernatural weirdness a la Lovecraft. It's pretty interesting stuff if you like that. Okay, Fabio, what do we have for you?
Oh, was I doing a yes, no? I was.
That's right.
That's okay, I can just do that.
Sure. See, was calling to you. Hey. And we do a yes or no where we count off cards looking for aces, because the aces are the marker for yes, but we only will count so many. If it doesn't show up, we move on to another pile. But this is a very old method of ascertaining a yes or no. It could say very much yes, very much no, or a little more this way, a little more that way. So we like using that. It's usually pretty accurate for us. So what did we get?
Well, it's leaning towards yes, Fabio, but, I want you to keep in mind that just because somebody loves you or still has feelings for you doesn't mean it's going to go anywhere necessarily. But I have a positive card here. The Empress card. And the Empress is about growth and positive creative potential. Like, I think this person, maybe turning a corner on you and see some potential with reestablishing a relationship. Maybe they just need a nudge by you. But I do feel as though, again, I just want to caution, sometimes when we ask a question, it's so specific that, yes, I see some love here. And that there was some, maybe also this is indicating that this person felt that really this could have grown into something really beautiful, but then it didn't. So I don't know what broke, possibly the two of you apart if you were together. Yeah, you were an ex, that's right. So
I have a different feeling here, and
okay, go ahead.
I don't know if you would know this, but is it possible that maybe they have moved on with somebody else and that maybe they're pregnant or something like that? Because the Empress card sort of shows, or did you guys have a child yourself, or do you know that they have a child? The Empress card does possibly concern pregnancies, human pregnancies. It's not just the more metaphoric kind of births. So even if it is leaning towards yes, I'm still wondering if there is something there. Did she have your child? I don't know. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that.
And yes, you're right, Casey. 13 in a pile, and if you don't get an ace, you move to the next. And you do that for 3 piles.
But if you hit an ace, you stop and
Yep.
then you move to the next.
Yeah.
So 1 ace is not a good chance of yes. 2 is a better chance. 3 is positive, and then vice versa. No aces is no.
And with the cards that remain, it gives you, some insight as to why it's a, probably yes or a probably no. Or a definite no. Because if you got those 3 cards there, then you can see why clearly it didn't work out. Well, Fabio, let me throw some Lenormand for you. I don't want to let you go yet.
So, Fabio, the basic answer was it looks like yes, but we're sort of curious about what that Empress meant.
Where this might be leading to. Let's see.
Maybe it just means that the time is pregnant with possibilities, as
That's
they say.
an awesome idea, too, actually, yeah. I mean, there's potential here. I would definitely say that, Fabio, but, I don't know how serious the breakup was and what it was about, but it seems like this person still has some feeling.
Oh.
And
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
The stork.
Are they possibly in a relationship right now, Fabio, or are they still single? This might couch the way I answer this. But the stork, it's funny, we had the pregnant empress, and now we have a stork. And so, but storks are about change, and stork, like even a change of residence or
Newness.
Something new happening, and it's happening suddenly. It's happening very fast and very suddenly. So it seems like there's going to be a big change in this person's life. And I don't know if that's going to involve you or not.
I'm thinking that maybe you asked us because you suspected this and that the answer kind of coincides with that. And that I'm wondering if maybe there has been some idea that maybe this person is thinking of coming back to you and in a sudden and swift way, like maybe whatever they did when they broke up, it just totally didn't work for them and they realized they should get back to you. I'm not saying this is really going to happen, but I'm just looking at that possibility there. So that's what we have for you.
Yeah, that's what we have for you right now. I hope that helps. And, if you come back to the show and ask a question next time, maybe you want to explore this further, like ask a question of, well, will we get back together again? What are the chances of that? I can't say right now, other than the fact that I like what he indicated there, that there are potentials for this. There is a potential.
Alrighty.
And that's what we have for you, Fabio. Good luck with that. And thanks for joining us today. Hey, Aaliyah, you are up. And after Aaliyah is MG, Jenna, Asel, Levi, SP, Divine U, and the Floyd.
Woohoo!
And I know that you're still with us, Lisa. So depending on how it goes, maybe we can fit you in. Maybe.
Oh, yes. The continuing story of Megan and her
Oh,
boyfriend.
no. Is this ever going to stop?
That's
Well, I
straightforward.
definitely think that's a yes-no. And let's see what it says. I'm curious. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is just, some people, they're just so set in their ways and how they respond to things. And,
Well, oftentimes it's young men
well,
or older men.
I think old men have sometimes a little stubborn streak about them. Hum, 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 nervously.
Where is the cat dive bombing the set when you need it? Oh, I'm so sorry, everything fell apart again. No, we don't want that to happen.
I'll put my chimes on.
I like the chimes.
I know, they're very relaxing.
You can ring my chimes.
Ah. All right.
Yeah, maybe he is some sort of masochist. That's very interesting,
A
Aaliyah.
glutton for punishment. Yeah, maybe it's just somebody who's always got to challenge boundaries.
Did you say you knew what his sign was? I don't remember if we were talking about that last time. Is this ever going to stop?
No.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Now, it's interesting. We do have the Six of Pentacles, and that is upright. And then the other card that's in here is the Nine of Pentacles, and it's reversed. It's interesting that they are both Pentacle cards. Go on.
I asked about this before, but is he like really jealous of his girlfriend having friends? I just thinking like he wants her.
Very possessive.
Yeah, he's very possessive.
But I don't know. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, the Six of Pentacles is a card of generosity and giving. But given the question that you asked, I'm wondering if he's just going to keep giving out this stuff. You know, if he's going to keep being the way he is what that's telling me, is he's just going to keep giving it out, dishing it out. And the Nine of Pentacles reversed is indicating that, you know, he really doesn't like his life right now, I feel. He really doesn't like things as they
Now,
are.
another thing is I believe they don't live together. They're just boyfriend, girlfriend. And I think that's a big part of this. Is like maybe he wants to change her status quo, which of course would give him a lot more control over her too. So I'm wondering if he's irritated because he can't get to that point where he can have more control over her, be the person who gives.
Yeah, I get the feeling he's very dissatisfied with his life, and so he's just dishing it out, you know, and giving it out to others and making people feel miserable too. And it might very well be that he's trying to do this, like Mr. O said, to get the girlfriend to dislike, you know, and pull away from the friends as well.
Yeah, so and Aaliyah confirms that they were going to be moving in together, but now things are kind of, you know, back burner. So I mean, on the one hand, it is possible too that maybe he would be able to provide for her if the guys were living together, but it just seems like there's some strings attached. She might lose a lot of her independence.
I truly feel he's really unhappy with his situation right now. And so in a sense, he's taken that out on everybody else. And that might be because he wants more attention from, huh?
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, the gift that keeps on giving, eh? So we have the flowers. Well, this is kind of an odd thing. And now we have the man. And so I'm wondering here if he isn't going to make a peace offering of some sort. I can't believe it myself, but the possibility exists that, you know, he has his eye on the prize, which I think is this girl.
Megan.
Yeah, Megan. He has his eye on the prize, and he really wants to possess it.
Well, I also wonder too if like, and you know, I know you talked about her before too, and you said you're pretty solid with her, but I'm getting the feeling like if he's trying to make her feel guilty so that she's the one giving the gift to him to kind of, you know, schmooze him over, like he's playing, you know, the hurt person. I don't know if he's really doing that, but go for it. Go for it, Aaliyah.
Well, I would say go for it. But the other thing is, too, let's look at this the other way, too. Maybe try some positive, if he ever does the right things, you know, try to positively reinforce those things when it happens.
Is maybe that what this is saying?
Maybe. He needs positive reinforcement in order to do the right things. And if he doesn't feel that it's giving him enough attention, then he goes and reverts back to the negative things that brings attention to himself. It's kind of what I'm getting from all of this.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, try to figure out ways where either you or Megan can kind of, you know, reward him, but not in a big grandiose way. Just like, oh, that's good, you know, keep it up, you know.
That's what we have for you, Aaliyah, and we'll be in touch. Don't forget.
Don't forget to drop
email us, and we will be in touch about your free reading.
Thank you.
And congrats again for winning it. And, okay, we have MG. Are you still with us, MG? You are up, and then Jenna, Acel, Levi, SP, Divine You, and the Floyd. And we've got 10 minutes.
Oh.
Well, obviously we're going to go into
card?
some overtime.
Or at 3 we could switch to one card?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll see.
At 4, we'll see.
4. Whoops, sorry.
I have a feeling not everybody on this list is here, but I could be wrong.
So that was MG again?
Yep.
Okay, MG. I'm going to type their name in. Since we got 10 minutes, we're going to try to see if we can get everybody to move along with us.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mustafa. We are full. We're going into a little overtime to finish up the readings we have. So you'll have to catch us another time.
Sorry about that, but try to come back on Thursday or next Sunday if you can.
Thursdays are a quiet night for us if it's easy for you, or Sunday, try to catch us earlier.
Right, the earlier the better in either case.
Yeah.
And MG, this is your last call, so we'll give you just a few more moments here.
To get your question in. Oh, wait, MG gave us a question. Duh,
That's right.
remember? So we
Okay.
are going to do MG's
Right, 'cause
question.
he's gonna look at it later.
That's right. What is going on with the Gemini? There's no communication. So we can do a quick 3-card on that. Your deck? Go
Sure.
ahead. Okay, MG, this is for you. Hopefully you'll know it's at the end of our live stream. And after MG is Jenna, Asel, Levi, SP, and Divine U, and the Floyd. More good measure.
It was good to see you, Mustafa.
Oh.
Was this a yes or no?
No. It's a 3-card.
So we have strength, and it's upright.
Mm.
Yeah. And then we have the 5 of swords, so that looks like the Fenris wolf.
Oh. Yeah, that looks like a real...
And then we have the 2 of rods. And these cards are all upright, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so this is about what's going on with the Gemini, as there's no communication, though. So what would you say about that? Yeah, I think
They
that
may
has...
be in some conflicts right now.
Or they might be feeling conflict with you, MG, is possible. I don't know if you know, the last communications you had, you were on good terms.
Well, it is a little bit here, because with the 2 of wands too, there's a sense here that maybe they're waiting on something, that they're investing themselves in a project. It may not have much to do with what your connection is. They are nice, aren't they, Lisa? Thank you. With the craft or the strength, I think that they're trying to make themselves into a stronger person and a better person in some ways, and maybe they sort of feel like they need a timeout.
Yeah, I do feel they might be working on their own issues, whether it's health or self-empowerment. They are trying to build and boost themselves up in some way. But it seems to me like there's been some conflict or strife. So I don't know, MG, if maybe that's between the 2 of you, or they're just feeling, not that positive about things with you, and that's why maybe you haven't heard from them. And the 2 of rods, this idea of waiting for something else. I can't help but wonder if they don't have somebody else they're communicating with right now.
Well, the other thing, too, with this 5 of swords is that because of the way the image is depicted, it sort of gives me the idea that they've been trying to hold something back, or they want to hold something back, and it may not be something that they can do. And I don't know if that
breaking the
pertains...
chains.
Well, I'm just offering that idea.
Yeah, no,
possibility
I see it.
That maybe that involves you. Like maybe they're just really not sure where they want you in their life, and so maybe they're just thinking they need to keep you at a distance because they're waiting for something else, is what it sounds like. So Banshee's going to do the Lenormand, and then we're going to try to move on.
Yeah, the artwork really stands out on the nice white background. There's nothing to detract from it either. So I kind of like the deck too, Casey. It is really nice.
It's an A.G. Moeller deck. That's the Queen of Discs from that one. And the line quality is really nice. The colors are a combination of dramatic, but then some pastel-y kind of stuff too. Beautiful deck.
Okay, MG, this is your Lenormand reading.
Not again.
Well, yeah, it's a stork again. which means they're going through some changes or maybe even change of mind about some things. And here we have the Mask. And so, I can't help but wonder if they're not being completely upfront with you or they're avoiding you for some reason. There does seem to be a little bit of duplicity here or something going on. Like they are wearing a mask. You're not really able to see the real them.
I think those things are true, and I think that they harken back to these, and I get the feeling like your Gemini friend is probably not really for you, that maybe they're just trying to not have to tell you that. Some people are like that. I'm like that, avoidance kind of a little bit. And I think that's what it is that it's probably best if you consider letting them make the first move, if ever. All right, so we need to get on with our next one.
I just typed Jenna's name in. Jenna is next. We're going to see if she's here. And type in your question, Jenna, if you are. And otherwise, we'll move on to Acel, because after Jenna is Acel, Levi, SP, Divine You, and the Floyd.
Woohoo.
And Lisa, possibly.
And Lisa, possibly. Jenna, are you around?
Jenna might have gave up because the list was so long today.
And unfortunately, Jenna, if you come back after we've moved on, we're not going to be able to take you. So I hope you understand. But and that's the risk anybody takes if
they leave now in particular.
It's one thing if it was earlier, but when we're this late, then we're just going to say, my hair is bothering me today. I don't know what it is.
Cut it. Oh. Yeah, we've got our COVID non-haircuts still. All right. I am not sure Jenna is with us.
So let's move on to Acel.
Acel, you can post your question.
Acel, are you here? I'm going to type your name in, hoping that you are.
Try ponytails, Mr. O. He did Thursday night, actually. He had it back in a ponytail.
Yeah, I did. I, as a younger hippie, I never liked ponytails. I just always wore it long and down. I don't like the ponytail look. But, who knows?
Okay, Acel, are you with us? Might be that Acel has left as well, but were they recently on?
They were, and I'm sorry if we missed you.
I see them up here at 3:40, so it wasn't that long ago. So go ahead and type your question, Acel. I'll give you another moment. And if not, oh, there's the Floyd. You're coming with the Floyd, but you're still kind of at the bottom. We're getting there.
One, two, three, hang on, because we're moving through people who may or may not have waited for their turn, so we may have to move the list around, which would be good.
No, what I'm saying is that we're moving faster through the list if people have disappeared. And I don't see Acel. So I think we are going to
move on
to
let Levi the Kid.
Oh, here's Acel.
Oh, there you are.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Acel is here, and then Levi, SP, and I think Divine You didn't want a reading, right? Are they here?
They may or may not be. I don't remember. Yeah. They might have.
So if Divine You does not want a reading, you'll be after SP, the Floyd. So that's 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 away.
Okay, we'll give you a moment.
And we're sorry, but after 2 hours, we're kind of getting spent. So we'll hang in there for a few to try to get everybody done on the list.
We had such a much slower night on Thursday that maybe we forgot Sunday would be this busy.
Yeah, Thursday was kind of down, but it was a good show, except for the beginning. Which went totally haywire. Like about 15 minutes into our stream, that's when the cats took down everything. We had to reset up again.
I don't know, is it? I'm not really sure. I'm answering Kellyo.
I know, I'm laughing at that.
Oh.
I don't know, it depends, it depends on our energy levels. It depends on the type of readings we're doing.
Remember when we used to do the block party?
Oh, yeah.
That would be several hours.
You know, we did a block party one time, and
then that other party.
and we were both reading, well, yeah, actually not a block party, but a citywide party. And we sat at a booth outside, and we were both reading side by side, and we barely got breaks, and we read for like 6 hours, 7 hours.
6 to 8 hours, 2 or 3 days in a row.
It was crazy.
But we made some money. Okay, we have a sales question.
Okay. 3 months. Okay. I'm just going to do my letter. What'd you draw? Okay, put it away. Thought you were going to look at that one
Thanks
more.
for the question. There were 2, actually.
All right. Okay, so let's see. Spirit wants you to know for the next 3 months. Well, mostly pretty good. We have the 3 of sacred circles, which is pentacles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have the 3 of pentacles upright. We also have the chariot upright, which is also a very positive card. But then we have that darn tower, and it's reversed. So, what does Spirit want you to know about the next 3 months?
Well, I think there are some rewards or challenges coming to you that will bring praise and honor, that people will really look at your work, but also they will recognize your drive, and they will see you as having really kind of come to a sense of an attention or strength. And so I think Spirit is filling this feeling in you to feel more confident, feel more assured of what you want to do. But with that tower reversed, it's still sort of indicating that some of the lessons you've been trying to learn, you're still not quite right with, maybe.
So Spirit is trying to tell you that you have so much going for you right now that you need to just keep pushing forward. Spirit is trying to tell you, just keep moving forward. This is the time for that. But as you move forward and as you move on, don't forget don't forget the lessons, don't forget that out of the times where you have failed, there are lessons you still need to take in from those experiences. It's like you're moving forward and you're in a good place right now. But if you have forgotten about some of your missteps and where they've landed you, and you repeat those cycles again, you could what's the word I'm trying to say? Sabotage the forward movement that you should be going in. Because they seem to think right now you are at your peak performance-wise. And so you need to maximize that and move as forward with it as you can. But never forget, that there are some lessons you still need to take in and make sure you never repeat again.
Banshee, that was fantastic.
Really?
That was really good. That was really good. It was better than what I was saying.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
So let's do that letter mod.
Let's do that letter mod. And see what we can add to that. Hey, yours was not bad either, Mr. O. Well, maybe I'm getting my second wind at the end of the day. All right, so here is something we are going to watch. And, okay, that's reversed. Let me put it that way. I'm sorry. That is the rope or the rod. And then we have the wishing well. sometimes the wishing well is telling you that you need to go within, you need to dive deep to search for some answers. So Spirit, because of this Tower reversed here, might be telling you now is the time. Don't wait on this. Reevaluate and reflect on, where you've been and where you're going, where you're heading with all this energy and movement, and make sure, you're not going to make mistakes along the way, because this is a time of reassessment and doing it now, diving deep now to look at those lessons from the past so you can clear the way for that forward positive movement.
Because you asked for the time frame of 3 months, and because this whip here sort of means a swift action, I am thinking these things are definitely the lessons or feelings or things you want to connect with in the next 3 months, especially this idea of going in deep, realizing, what the faults are you still can correct, but where your drive is coming from to take you forward.
All in all, a decent reading, really. Nice message
reading
from Spirit.
I think so.
So that's what we have for you, Estelle. Thanks for waiting, and I hope that helped. And we are on. Hey, Levi, are you still with us by chance? If you are, it is your turn. We'll take you right now. I'm going to type your name in. And so you are up, Levi, if you are with us. And if not, we'll move on to the next, which will be SP, and then Divine You and the Floyd. And there you are. Awesome. Ah.
Ooh, we haven't had a question.
Wow, we haven't had a question like that in a while. That's awesome.
What do you want to use? You want to use the Witchy Tarot?
Sure.
The Everyday Witch Tarot.
Why not? How do you want to...
Oberon and Banshee occasionally see some shadows around our house. The ones we see, we are curious about because they tend to look like little small things, like a shadow cat or dog, and they move really quick. We just see them and then
You're welcome, Estelle.
You're welcome.
Divine You, I don't know why that's happening. Just double check the notifications again. Some people have said that before too, that sometimes the notifications don't come through. He's been putting them up a little bit. You've been putting the link up earlier, so the notification should go out like 10 minutes before our stream, I think.
Sure.
Oh, wow. Well, I want to see generally what we can pick up from this shadow. Maybe we'll be able to pick up... I might be able to do something else to try to narrow it more. But let's throw 3 cards and just see what we get first. Here you go, Mr. O. Yeah, a lot of the things that I have seen in recent times have not been scary. One time I actually saw something that looked like a light bluish white mist roll by me really quickly. I almost had a feeling that it could have been an ancestral spirit that was visiting me. I have a feeling I know who that was, but other times they're more shadowy and dark. But yet I have not had bad vibes from any of them. Okay, I want to look at those choices again first. From me, someone else, from Old House Next Door. Okay, so we have the 4 of Cups and it's reversed. We have Judgment, and that is also, all of these are reversed, and then we have the Star reversed. So what do you think, Mr. O? I'm not sure that this was necessarily, I don't think it's like super bad, but I'm not necessarily sure it's a friendly shadow spirit.
I don't feel that it's necessarily unfriendly. I'm wondering if it is some sort of energy of a person who maybe somebody knew and has gone on. Like, I don't think it's like something that maybe haunts the area. Like, I think maybe it's more attached to you, your brother, or your family. I'm just feeling that a little bit. It could be the Judgment card. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe there's an unresolved issue with somebody whose spirit was with you. the star sort of kind of tells me that too, in a way. I'm just wondering if maybe there was a particular person who was in your family or you knew of who maybe they passed, maybe they were older, or maybe they just didn't live a long time, and maybe there was something unfulfilled about their life, like maybe they're trying to contact people to explain that feeling to them.
Well, I don't know how long the old house next door has been empty, or maybe an issue for paranormal activity, but I'm not going to rule that one out necessarily. I will say this, though, the Four of Cups is reversed here, and I'm kind of getting the feeling, that it might not recur, that maybe it was an energy that was passing through, because it looks like it's moving on.
So we're kind of opposite in that regard.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
kind of the way I'm feeling about. What do you feel again? That they're staying?
Well, I didn't say that they were staying,
Okay.
but that I felt that they were somebody that was possibly connected to somebody
Well,
alive here.
okay.
You're not ruling it out.
I'm not going to rule that out either. I
It's
think
just moving.
it's moving. So it could be some energy that was just moving through. And it definitely seems like it's somebody who has passed on. I don't know why, because I'm getting that, I think, with the star reversed somehow.
Right, sometimes
maybe the combination of these
Sometimes the shadow beings maybe don't really represent spirits that have passed. They may just represent non-human entities. So we're not so sure that it's a shadow thing. We're thinking it's more likely a part of a spirit.
I feel it's part of a spirit. I almost feel like it may not be, an out-and-out shadow thing. And I like what Lisa said there. Yes, everybody has been talking about an increase in paranormal activity since the COVID. And I would have to tell you that, Lisa, mine actually, a lot of the stuff that was happening here for us happened right before COVID started to hit, like January and February. And we're wondering what the heck is going on. And I almost think it was a harbinger for all of this that was to come.
And it's funny because actually, you just brought up something that, I've been telling you for the last year or two, that every once in a while I would hear somebody calling my name, a woman's voice saying my name. And sometimes I thought it was my mom, but I wasn't necessarily for sure it was, because my mom's alive. So, and I call her like, yeah, she's fine. But that has seemed to stop right around the time that COVID came out. That once we started having that problem, all of a sudden those voices weren't talking to me anymore. They weren't saying my name, at least.
I will say this, Levi, I don't believe the spirit is attached to either of you per se. Hopefully they haven't decided to make an attachment, but I really don't think they are. I think they're moving through, and that Four of Cups reversed kind of left me with that. But let me see.
If you have dreams, pay attention to your dreams. There might be a symbol in there for you too. If you don't remember dreams, try leaving a notebook by your bedside, and that'll kind of tell your mind you want to remember them, and then you'll wake up, and if you remember it, write it out. Go on.
That's a good one, the Floyd. Yeah, really. Okay, well, actually, the first card I drew was the Sun, which is kind of interesting, I think, in this case. And then I've got this cutting down, the
Sith.
The Scythe, which again, that's interesting. That leads me back a little bit to Mr. O's thought that it could be somebody who has passed on. Again, who knows? This could be just somebody maybe not necessarily stopping to visit you, but just in their journey of passing on has, for whatever reason, moved through. And you happen to see them because really with the COVID environment right now, the veil is very thin. And so I think a lot of us are seeing things that, things are coming to light that we normally don't see.
Some people in theosophy or other esoteric disciplines, they believe that when there's a lot of human passings, that does create a sort of spiritual sense of spirits wailing, communicating. Why did this happen? Because they were not intended passings. They were unintended, unexpected passings, and so that creates a grievousness in so many spirits who are suddenly leaving the earthly plane.
Yeah, I'm sensing more and more just because I see the cutting down of the wheat, which seems like somebody maybe passing on. Again, see, I'm getting that kind of connection here. And that, you just happen to see them move through. And maybe they wanted to be seen move through. Maybe they just needed to be acknowledged. So I don't see anything really dangerous here. I know we had some cards that were more on the negative side in the last reading, like reversals, but they weren't anything that led me to believe that there was any danger.
I don't think there's any harm, and I think that the sun sort of says that eventually you are going to be able to figure this out or have some reasonable idea of what that was. So good luck.
I hope that was worth waiting for, Levi, and thank you for joining us today. That was a very interesting question, and I like to be challenged that way.
Because we believe.
Because we believe. I've been in a haunted house. One of my aunt's houses was haunted, so...
And we have a question from Divine You.
Okay. Well, it's SP's turn, actually.
Oh.
Don't worry, we've got your question, Divine You. Don't detract it.
SP, are you still with us?
But are you with us, SP? Because you are
and
next.
You're welcome, Levi, the kid.
You're welcome, Levi. Good luck with that.
Let us know.
Let us know if anything else happens. Okay, a connection. Okay, let's do that. I'll use my
There we go. See.
light sears for that one.
So we have that question, SP. Thank you.
And we'll get to you next, Divine You. And we're on such a roll here. We'll probably get through
Lisa.
everybody at this point, I think. But if anybody else comes in, no.
Lisa, my grandmother used to tell me that when people dreamed about a tooth coming out, it meant a baby was being born.
Lisa, you know what? When anybody would have a death in my family, or would dream of a death, they would say, oh, there's going to be a birth. It was always that way. When somebody would die in a dream, it would be a birth. And for 9 times out of 10, they were right. Except when my father dreamt he saw himself in a coffin. And I was 10 years old at the time, and my aunt told him, oh, you're gonna get a new job, you're gonna get a promotion, something good is gonna happen to you.
It was a promotion, all right?
He died within a week of that. He actually literally had a premonition of his own death. So it's not always true, but that definitely has a connection in my family that we used to look at that way.
Okay, SP, we have your question. Thank you.
Yep. We got it, SP.
Here you go.
This is really interesting. So look, we have the Knight of Swords here, and it's upright. And notice the movement in that card, too. I just want to take note of that. Of course, it's a knight. And then we have the Eight of Cups. And again, we see someone moving. And that is upright. And then we have the Five of Swords, and that is reversed. Gosh, there does seem to be some kind of connection here. But you know what I have to say about this is sometimes, even if there is some kind of deep connection, that doesn't always mean you're meant to connect. And so I'm looking at a couple different things here. I have the Knight of Swords, which could very well be you, or one of you that is moving towards something. They're moving towards something. But it also looks towards they're moving towards a bike, like they're moving on. And then we have the Eight of Cups here, which also shows somebody moving. Are you guys moving towards each other, or are you moving apart? That's the question. And what do you say with the Five of Swords there?
The Five of Swords almost always is, like any five, is about the same as it is upright or reversed. And usually the Five of Swords really talks about kind of strifeful things and maybe backbiting and maybe a little bit of anger or jealousy or bad feelings there. So the sense is that maybe there's this idea here that maybe they have an intrigue with you too, but it might not be exactly the same. Like maybe there's something that also gives them a feeling of not sureness about you. Like maybe it's a connection, but for not the reason you think. Like maybe it's a connection for something else.
Well, and I don't know, obviously I don't know you, I don't know this person, but one of the things that I see, when I get a question like this is I look for a pattern here, and I can't help but wonder if it's not adversity of some sort that kind of links you two together somehow. But that might be the only connection, because it looks as though you guys are moving in different directions right now.
Right.
Do you see that?
This could be the one person, and this could be SP, and maybe,
But there's a link. There might be some shared experience. Maybe this is even related to a past life thing if you follow that and
Karma of
believe
some
in
sort,
that.
right.
There is something here that like some adversity or difficulties that connects you two together.
I'm not really big on the whole twin flame, twin souls, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But in a way, when I look at these two cards, they're both people walking away from something.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a point where they end up meeting each other because their directions take them to each other. So that is a possibility.
Right. So I don't, it is a possibility that your roads might meet someday. But to me, that seems like it is a work in progress if that happens. It's further down that road. And like I said, sometimes a connection you don't always get together with somebody that you have a connection with.
Right,
That's
there
a sad
may be a
fact of
different
life.
reason why the connection is there. I once had an interesting relationship with somebody who was totally unlike me, and I asked a friend who was an astrologer what that was about, because we were so different astrologically, and they compared our charts and they said, yeah, there's nothing really to bring you together, except right now there's things in your charts that really unify you. And then like a year or so later, we just were no longer really friends even.
Wow, and look at this. The first card I drew is the maze. And then the second card I drew is the heart. So there's a lot of confusion clearly here about feelings and romantic feelings and where this could be leading. And right now it seems like it's going in circles or it's not connecting. You are lost in the maze.
I'm thinking you should find somebody who's maybe better qualified to do some past life analysis on you, because these two cards make me feel like maybe there was a past life connection and maybe it was unrequited, or there was something that was karmic that just sort of kept you away from each other, and maybe this life is shaping up that way. It either is something that can be overcome or it has to be understood and put into the context that it needs to be. So it may be that there is a connection there. We're not sure we can see what that is. Maybe we can try to do more some other time, or maybe you want to investigate other people who can do those kind of readings too.
Yeah, very fascinating though, the way these cards came out, I have to say. So I hope that's given you at least something to go on there, SP. Good luck with that. And Divine, you are up, and I think we have your question already, so we're all set. And then the Floyd and Lisa. Okay, Divine, let's check that
What are my
question.
spirits trying to tell me? What was that dream I had early morning? This is my aunt and uncle who passed away. Well, sometimes dreams with passed on people are okay, and sometimes they may not be. If people who have passed on appear in a dream with somebody to you, and they have somebody else who has not passed on, and they say, "Oh, we're going with Uncle Johnny" or something like that. Well, that
my family would never like those
that
kind
may
of dreams.
mean that Uncle Johnny is going to be going somewhere not good. But not always. But I mean, that's the symbology of dreams, is that if you dream about somebody who's gone, you need to pay attention to that. There may be some clues
There
in
is some message there for sure. So what was that? Okay, spirits. Okay. And you're welcome, SP.
You are welcome. Thank you.
So everybody's in the same club, huh?
We don't know why this shit is
You know,
happening.
and they may be coming just to offer support now if you're going through a difficult time. Because I have had family who are on the other side come back in a time of need.
I recently had a dream, and I don't remember my dreams very often, but it was about a week ago, and it was somebody that I had a really strong friendship with, and then we just kind of parted ways. It was over 20 years ago, and I dreamed about this person. It was literally the first time I dreamed about them in all that time. And I thought to myself when I woke up that maybe it meant they were gone.
So the first card is Ace of Pentacles reversed. And the second card is Temperance, upright. And the third card is the Chariot reversed. Now, I'm going to start this because I have some thoughts here right away. I think Spirit is trying to tell you that right now is not a very growthful time for you. You know, things are what they are right now, and you just kind of have to ride it out. And the Chariot kind of reaffirms that a little bit because the Chariot's reversed. And so it's kind of like, you know, you're just kind of hit the brakes. You know, you're not moving forward at the moment. And also, I think what Spirit is saying to you that really this is a time to get yourself balanced emotionally, physically, spiritually. Get that harmony back that you need to make yourself whole again. In other words, don't worry about the growth and the lack of movement right now. Worry about yourself. Put your energy into healing yourself and making yourself whole.
These are mostly what I see too. I think with the Chariot maybe is just saying it's okay. The Spirit is saying it's okay to have downtime. It's okay to not really know your direction. It's okay to feel lazy or unmotivated, because the important lesson right now is most likely just to feel yourself and feel good in yourself. And all the other things won't matter. You just have to try to be the best person on the inside as you can and calm yourself and feel peace within yourself.
And maybe that's part of the point Spirit is trying to say here is that until you achieve that balance and that wholeness within yourself, maybe this growth and movement cannot occur. You know, it's kind of like maybe that's why there is a stumbling block, because you need to do a little bit more work on the self. And so let's see what the Lenormand can add to that. One more, sorry. These cards are getting a little bent. I think I'm going to have to not retire them, but so Spirit might also be telling you that there are decisions and choices you have to make. And it might be about putting an end to something, you know, in your life that is no longer serving a purpose for you. And so maybe that is causing some of the disharmony and the inability to move forward. You know what they say? Something has to end in order for growth to occur. And so I think that might be another part of the message here.
Well, is that a callback too to the aunt and uncle who are gone?
Possibly.
That maybe they're just saying, really face your choices. You know, we're not with you. You're still in the human plane, and you need to make choices and move forward.
Well, now that you've gone there, you know what I could also add is you notice here that we have the coffin card, but then we have the path card, and it looks like there's two stairways, and there were two people in your dream. And so what it might be is they are telling you that they are trying to contact you and give you a message from the other side.
The Chariot is also about duality. Even if it's reversed this time, it could just be saying the indication that the energies are out there right now, and that you have to figure out how to find them, because they're kind of back and forth here with those Chariot energies, the drive versus the avoidance. Keep your mind open.
Good luck with that, Divine You. And yeah, just pay attention. You have any other dreams. You know what? If there is a cemetery, if they're nearby and you can visit the gravesite, you might want to give them a little offering or something, if you can. Or at least light a candle for them and think about them, you know, and thank them for, you know, for visiting you. Acknowledge them. Sometimes that's all they're looking for as well. So the Floyd, you've made it.
You're welcome.
It's your turn. And Lisa, we're going to squeeze you in. I mean, we're already late, so why not? And it seems like we're okay. We got our second win. But that's it, people. We're done after that.
So the Floyd, go right ahead. Did you already type in your question before?
Oh, I don't know.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They've made some interesting comments. I fed the crows. Crows talk to me. Some crows, not all crows.
I like crows.
I lit the candle. How
You
does
made
Crystal-
it to Floyd. Okay, how does Crystal feel about me right now? Okay. Yours?
Yes. Why don't you shuffle first?
I will.
And we'll use the
Are you
golden lucky
crossing the
cards.
streams, Mr. O?
Yes, I am. It's been a wonderful afternoon, and we thank everybody for being here. I hope Kellyo is going to get a good night's sleep. I know it's pretty late for him.
You know, you guys only make us better. So, I mean, we only improve the more we connect with everybody. And we really appreciate the time we spend with you.
I've had 2 or 3 really interesting lucid dreams, but not in a few years. But maybe not quite once a year, I have a dream where I'm flying. It's never quite once a year, but on average it could be close to that. And in the dream, I have to like concentrate super hard to lift off of the ground. And if I don't maintain super concentration, I end up falling to the ground. So it's really weird.
Yogurt sounds like a plan. I'm getting hungry.
Okay, so this is about Crystal. The 6 of Cups reversed. Let me show you that one. The 8 of Pentacles upright.
Have you been in a relationship with Crystal before? Let me ask that
And
right
the 2
now.
of Swords, and that one's reversed.
Reversed. Because I'm wondering if there's some connection to the past here. You're welcome, Divine You.
Yes. That would be this one here, the 6 of Cups. So I'm wondering that too.
There's a couple ways I could go with that. And so if you are not in a previous relationship with this person, it might be that, you know, this person might feel that some way you remind them, or maybe they're thinking about some negative experience. They're influenced by some negative experiences they've had in their past. And so, you know, it might be affecting the way that they look at you in some way.
Right, maybe you remind them of somebody, or maybe there's something about you that gives them that vibe. With the 8 of Pentacles, it may be that they're really thinking about their career right now, too. I think that they're possibly thinking about learning new skills or changing jobs or what's needed to do that. So it may be that they just have a more mundane focus at this time. The 2 of Swords reversed also indicates that maybe for a while they had some limitations, like maybe they were out of the work scene or out of some scene because some reason, illness or something, but now they may be coming back. And so they mostly want to be cautious about how they're proceeding.
Well, I would read that. And also, when I look at these other cards and I think about it as far as how they are looking at you, okay, I would say that the 2 of Swords to me is indicating that maybe they're having a hard time communicating with you. And like you mentioned here, that there was some difficulties being, you know, with a person being mistreated in the past. I'm not going to say it's as bad as like a post-traumatic stress reaction, but there is a little bit of that there, in that, you know, they may be a little bit shyer, or they may be a little bit scared to say what's really on their mind. They may be holding some things back, and they may be fearful of getting too close to people because of what's happened to them in the past. I definitely pick up that negative experience here. And I think, you know, they're really just going to keep, I think they're willing to work on a relationship with you. I think that they're feeling like maybe they should work on it. This is a card of, you know, of putting some effort into this, that they're willing to do that. but it's very cautious, and I think it's really couched by, the experiences that they had and how they're coming to terms with it and balancing it out in dealing with you.
Good.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of did my own already, so.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do the Lenormand on that. And I have to tell you, the Floyd, you're fascinating me with the flying dreams, because I had an aunt who had flying dreams all the time, and I was convinced she was astral projecting. But here's the thing. She used to have flying dreams, and sometimes she would take someone with her, and whenever she did, that person would die soon after. But here's the kicker. When she was in the hospital one time, she called everybody in the family, and she told them that she was flying the night before in a dream, and she felt she was flying so high she would never come back down again. And she died the next day.
I've heard the story a dozen times, and I know it's true, of course.
Yeah.
She tells it exactly the same.
Yeah.
Her aunt had a poltergeist in the house, which, of course, we think
That was my
poltergeists-
haunted house story, which will be coming soon.
But we think poltergeists are more likely a person's own energy causing these things. We don't
I
it's
think it was a
ghost.
poltergeist, but the jury's out. I'll have to tell that story soon, yeah. So let me draw some Lenormand on this and see what we've got here. I think, okay, the first card I drew was the bear. And the second card I drew is the magnifying glass. I'm wondering, Floyd, if this is a message for you or a message about her. I think maybe it's about her. And what I think you have to realize here and discover is that she needs to really have her confidence in she needs to feel empowered and strong within herself. So anything that you can do that can help her feel more comfortable in her own skin, because obviously this previous relationship I think has done a lot to damage her ego and her feelings towards herself. So any way that you can help boost her up would be, probably help you bridge any, distance between the two of you.
Like I said, this Two of Swords says that she may be free to move after a period of limitations, but the road is cautious for her. And she needs to be looking into, put the magnifying glass on herself, to see how she can become that she-bear, to be more confident, and to maybe lead the way for her own life or for life together. I have to know what sign you are, if you know your astrology, because you sound fascinating.
Okay, but that's what we have for you, Floyd. And Lisa, you can type your question.
Go ahead, Lisa. You're a good person, the Floyd.
Libra. Ha! Ha! I get along so well with Libras.
I do too.
Yeah. Your dad was a Libra.
Some of my best friends have been Libra.
So Lisa, let's
Oh
see.
dear. Wow, that's pretty dynamic, Floyd. Okay, but let me concentrate on Lisa now.
Oh, mimicry. That is not a good thing. From what hey, I watch the ghost shows. And I have seen the discussion of, like, for example, spirits that will mimic the looks of somebody else that they're not. They might mimic the person who sees them. So you're seeing like a doppelganger, and that's kind of creepy.
Whenever we go more than a half an hour overtime, we open a portal,
No,
and all these
stop it.
ghosts and things start coming out. No, okay. No, that's fascinating, Lisa.
Well, it's fascinating. It is a little scary.
Sure.
So I'll get my non-scary deck out again for this one, but we'll see what kind of cards we get.
See, I didn't want to say it before, but that voice that I mentioned I was hearing, I always thought 2 out of 3 times that it was my mother's voice. I think I did say that, because then I would want to call her to find out she was okay.
So you're even getting it on a phone call where you're talking to someone else, and you get a phone call? Or it's interrupting while you're on the phone and you just hear this voice in the background. Either way, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel a little bit differently about your situation than I did about Levi's.
interrupting, she says.
Okay. Well, we have the Three of Pentacles. Another one, the Seven of Pentacles. Wow, I have a thought right away. Oh my gosh. And these Eight of Swords. Well, I don't know if you've had, and is this always like in your home, Lisa, or is this, in other places as well? Are you just hearing this voice in your home environment? I think that's kind of important because I'm having a feeling you're dealing with an earthbound spirit here.
Now, you live alone, I believe, right? I don't remember, but I think you live alone.
Oh, Casey, yeah, don't have nightmares, Casey.
Good night, sweet dreams. But all seriousness aside, that's the earthbound spirit thing, right?
Well, I'm looking at it being pentacles, which is earth, and the Eight of Swords, the binding, it's an earthbound spirit, which needs to be released.
Right, and see, earthbound spirits generally tend to do negative things. They can't move on. If they're non-human, it's usually that they have some attachment to humanity because they want to experience the things that they think are fun that humans experience. But if it is a human earthbound, then it's because they had an obsession with certain parts of their life, and so they're still trying to vicariously feel that stuff by glomming onto people or situations.
Yeah, and this doesn't surprise me in this where so many people are dying right now that this is happening. And especially if you are sensitive to these types of things. And so I feel like maybe, it's possible that you have to just acknowledge it and tell them they need to move on. That they need to move on, that this is your house, and that they are on the other side and they need to move on.
There is a possibility that what I feel from the Three of Pentacles is that maybe they want to say something, or maybe they want you to say something. This is sort of like a communication
Clearly, acknowledgement.
So they are seeking some sort of acknowledgement. I don't know if it's necessarily the right thing.
No.
It might be better if you, I don't know if you know how to do these things for yourself. You probably do, but my best is like just putting some salt and water and just walking around your house and sprinkling it and just mentally affirming you want them to be gone.
I don't know how long you've been having this happen, but if you haven't had phenomenon before and this is new, then I do feel that something has come in for whatever reasons and they're kind of stuck. And I don't know if they're earthbound permanently, but at least they need to be acknowledged and told it is all right to move on and that they need to leave your house. You need to, under no uncertain terms, tell them to go. Because I don't know that this is necessarily a positive thing for you from the sounds of it. Because also, the Eight of Swords to me could indicate that it could possibly get attached to you.
Yes, and that's the danger with anything earthbound. And I noticed that January Girl was asking if I meant like something like an animal, I sort of believe that happens, but it's different, and they don't usually have a directing consciousness or energy that would be able to maybe do harm, unless they were just really the worst dog that ever lived or something, I don't feel that, but I'm just going out with what I feel because I don't know what actual parapsychologists would say.
Yeah. Okay, here's my advice. So we have the Fox.
Be clever.
And we have the Mask.
Uh-oh.
And what I have to tell you is this, Lisa. I think that you need to be very crafty and clever and move this thing on. Or this spirit is very crafty and clever and deceptive.
And wants to fool you.
So,
it's trying to disguise itself.
Yeah, so it needs to move. And if you aren't capable of doing that, then maybe you need to seek a spiritualist, somebody who is able to do that work for you. Somebody in the paranormal community could recommend somebody, a light worker of some sort that can do this, because I don't like the looks of this. I honestly don't.
Lisa, you speak as if you know your way around the board here. So yeah, it's just I don't know that we were able to answer your question in terms of who it might be, but it does feel like it's some sort of non-human earthbound entity that maybe is attached for whatever reasons.
Well, in the case that it may be a human entity that's just stuck and acting out, or was just a negative person to begin with, you need to tell them to move on and that it's your house. But if it's the opposite, it is like he said, it is a earthbound entity that is non-human. I think you need some help with that. I would recommend it. Unless you absolutely are adept at handling these matters yourself. So if it escalates, that would be my advice. But you could do the salt and the saging thing and try to remove this yourself.
Sure. You can always, if you want more advice, write to us at our Gmail, TFT, Tarot for Today at Gmail. We might have some ideas for you too. And I'm thinking of my nurse friends who were a little bit esoteric at the last hospital I worked at, and they were thinking like the hospital was built on an Indian burial ground, so they were going to come up with a kit for nurses that would include a flashlight, so they could say, walk towards the light, walk towards the light.
Yeah. That's what we have for you. I hope that gave you some good advice, and good luck with that. Really, keep us posted.
Yeah.
And we are done. We made it.
3/4 of an hour later.
Oh my God, this is about the longest overtime, and yeah, we're going to have to cut down on the overtime stuff because, hey, we have a few other things to do, but we enjoyed so much the day with you today. And thank you all for the interesting questions, and we hope we've been able to give some insights and maybe we'll send you in a direction that will help you with your issues and concerns.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you,
Thanks,
Kelly.
Angel.
Thank you,
and
Lisa.
KC, hung with us. Oh my gosh, get some sleep.
He's afraid to go to sleep now. I'll say a prayer for you.
Yeah. Well, have fun, everybody. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your
See you next
days.
time.
And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.